What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. It is your boy Darion of the Darion Hopkins Show. I am going to wait a little bit until the crew come in here, but I am your host, Darion of the Darion Hopkins Show. Episode 23 is definitely in the building. Shout out to everybody that is actually here. Shout out to everybody that's in the building for this actual show, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully we can get the rest of the crew in here today, but we do have a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a lot to talk about in stating that what actually happened yesterday in game one of the Western Conference Finals. And we have a lot to talk about when it comes to the Becky Hammond situation, when it comes to what Draymond Green stated and Steve Kerr stated about them not be able to build trust after the whole Jordan Poole incident. We have a lot to talk about here when it comes to basketball related stuff, because there's not a lot of football really going on at this moment that really to report the news. So hopefully my guy Matt Campbell could come in and give you your bets. He has a lot of bets for this the game one of the Eastern Conference Finals in the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. We will be doing a prediction for that as well. So definitely stay tuned for a lot of topics that we have to talk about. But like I said, man, thank everybody for tuning in to the Darion Hopkins Show. And, right as of right now, I am here by myself without the squad. But hey, it is what it is. So we going to get straight into it, man. And when they come on, and when they come in, then we'll definitely talk about it. But let's get straight into it, man. Let's get straight into it, and let's get down to the nitty-gritty of what transpired last night in the Western Conference Finals. And you had the Los Angeles Lakers going up against the number one team in the Western Conference, and that is the Denver Nuggets, ladies and gentlemen. And we had a lot to speak on in the group chat. I'm just waiting for Mac or whoever to come up in here to see the argument. Y'all should have saw the arguments. It was so heated. Not really heated, like it was like a healthy heated debate. If you could say it was a healthy heated debate, as what you could say. So I have to be completely honest with you. It was a great thing to watch. And I really didn't want to say much. I really wanted to hear from Mac. I really wanted to hear from Ed, and you will hear from them. You absolutely will hear from them. So before we get into anything, I just want to say that if you are interested in getting any type of events like sporting events or live events, make sure you go to SeatGeek.com and use the promo code DHopkins. Now, if you use that promo code, I'm sorry, I keep messing up, man. But if you use that promo code, you get $20 off your first purchase. So make sure you go to SeatGeek.com if you want to go to any live event, concert, sporting event. SeatGeek has it for you right then and there. So make sure you go to SeatGeek.com and use the promo code DHopkins. Now, if you want to be in the betting world, as well, make sure you go to betus.com. The link is definitely in the description if you want to place your bets. What you'll do is you'll receive 125% of your sports book on the first initial deposit. Yes, with my special offer with the link in the description, 125% of sports book on the initial deposit. When you deposit with BetUs, that's all you have to do is go to betus.com or use the link in the description to get that special offer, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, what's going on, GSM Stacks, Peace family? What's going on, John L. Jackson? What's going on, Dante Rogers? What's going on, my brother? What's going on? And finally, I have one of three of my co-hosts that's already in the building. And we got my boy Ed in the building. What up, man? What's going on?
What up? I had to take care of a few things real quick. I'm in here though. You can hear me good?
Listen. You gotta do family first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, family first. Ohana.
I did my first. I think about 16 or 17 episodes by myself. So I was kind of used to starting the show by myself anyway. Mm-hmm. So I could completely understand that, man. But I was just breaking down everything. You and Mac in the chat, that's why I stayed quiet. I said what I had to say, and I moved on, man. I moved on because, listen, that game last night we kind of like underestimated that score. We really
We
underestimated that
underestimated the
score.
score as far as how high it would be, but I think the range was pretty fair. I said five. I said five. 105 to 100. What did they win? 130,
It
132
was
to 126.
it was 132 to 126.
So 6 points. I mean, hey, I called it yesterday. I said I could see us. You know what I mean? I can see them coming out, punching us in the mouth. We get down, but we've shown the ability to come back. I think we just turned it on a little too late. Honestly, we turned the defense on a little too late. 24 points in the what was it? 25 in the fourth quarter. So it was like, yeah, we held them down when we actually turned it up. But I just think that we made the adjustment a little too late. But as there's no more victories, but I think we've shown a lot of promise for next game. Honestly, we've shown promise. We've shown a few matchups that can work in our favor, and we'll just see.
So let's recap the game in general, because from what I was seeing here, and I've noticed even the way that the Lakers were losing, and I look at all the four quarters was close.
Mm-hmm.
All the
The
four quarters
first
was
quarter was
close.
when he got blitzed.
37 to 25. Then you had 35-29. Then you had 34-38. Then 34-26. So either way, just it looked like in the first two quarters it was going to be a blowout. But y'all still kept yourselves in the game some way, somehow in that first half. And as a Laker, as Lakers fans should think, I know y'all good for coming back, but you don't want to start like that either.
No.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
the start. The start was very piss poor, especially defensively. I think offensively we've shown to be a slow starting team. Everybody finding their rhythm. LeBron figuring out the pace of the game, how you want to play on any given night. But I think defensively we had lapses we just had lapses in just mental awareness, is connectivity coming around screens. We had we had a few turnovers in the first quarter that kind of got ugly. We just didn't get back on defense. They ran it down. They just ran off of makes. They ran off of misses, obviously. But I think that the D'Angelo matchup was kind of a struggle initially because Bruce Brown just saw blood when he saw him. He was just going straight downhill, straight to the basket, off of makes, off of misses, and just attacking before we could even get set. So I think that, like I say, the role players were huge for Denver, as they have been. They play better at home than they play on the road, and you just have to bank on KCP not getting 19 and Bruce Brown not getting 21. Like, you can't win like that. You honestly can't win. It's hard to win when D'Angelo was
Michael
very
Porter
disappointing.
Jr. played yesterday too.
He played
On
solid.
both sides of the ball.
He had two blocks. I think one or two blocks. He played decent defense. It wasn't nothing too spectacular. I just think that offensively, he had some tough shots. He had a couple, especially in the fourth quarter. Honestly, I think that the game was just like, it was just up for grabs, and they just hit a couple of video game shots. Honestly, like Joker hits the one at the end of the third quarter with Anthony Davis draped all on him. Jamal Murray comes out the start of the third quarter, hits basically the same shot, same spot. And then you got Michael Porter hitting one drifting out of bounds with Reeves draped all over him. So it's like, we will take that. But if they the shots you gotta hit.
I look at that Michael Porter jump shot though, and I just see the height difference over Austin Reeves.
Over Reeves.
I don't even think he was looking at Austin Reeves. I think
he wasn't.
He was just shooting. He was just going up and shooting because he's already like 6'7", 6'9".
He's 6'10". He's 6'10" legit.
He's 6'10". So when he even just imagine when he jumps, you put in the extra inches when he jumps, when he shoots the ball. So I think for me, I feel like Austin Reeves and Michael Porter Jr. matchup is not great for Austin Reeves
height-wise, obviously, because he had the same issue last series against Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson started out hot, and it's just the fact that if he's not there initially, he will just shoot. If he's already raising up to shoot, it's nothing Reeves can do, because Reeves is just too short. He just can't see him. So I think we just had to switch. As you saw, we just switched up a few matchups, and Jeff Green hitting the corner three when he's shooting 30%. You know what I mean, for the playoffs is like, you live with that. I wish AD would have had a better contest, but I just think that the adjustments that we made, as I stated in the last part, was just we make adjustments and we just we take it from there. I think that taking AD off of Joker for the initial start of the play and having Rui, you know what I mean, be there because Joker is a natural. He's a pass first player. He looks to score, but his initial instinct is to pass. So I think that if we can have AD being a help defender and which he's great at, and just he blocked Jokic shot, he forced a turnover. Rui played stellar defense. It's a clip online of just like 6, 7 straight possessions of him just playing straight up defense on him, and just the help defender being there, and that's how we crawled back into the game, honestly.
Yeah, and the thing is, when y'all got on that run and they called a timeout, even Mike Malone made some adjustments too, and that's what I was saying. The difference between Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors and the Denver Nuggets. This team is going to counter adjust whatever they feel like is not working for them, and that's what I saw in Denver last night, where they were down. They wasn't down, but they were
were never down.
They were never down, but they were in the midst of losing their lead.
Mm-hmm.
So I was sitting there like, okay, Mark Malone or I think it's Mark instead of Mike. Don't get me wrong, but Mike was stating that Mike would call a timeout and he made adjustments too, especially putting in Caldwell Pope and making and coming out with your offensive set and shooting that three. So it's good. That's why I said this game is going to be all about this series. Going to be all about adjustments because both teams know how to adjust. Really well.
I think that like I say, at the end of the day, if we could take it all back, LeBron doesn't shoot that three. It's a clean look. I mean, but they were packing the paint. Murray was already retreating, playing the drive. I think that if LeBron hits that three, we're having a different discussion. If they tie the game up, the Lakers may steal that because we had all the momentum. If we want to be honest, we had all the momentum. We basically figured out their defense. Like I said before, it's an open lane to the lane. It's as long as we don't settle, you know what I mean, for silly shots, or which we tend to not do. I think that we can get a layup at any time. We can get a layup at any time. It was shown throughout the whole game. Like once we get past the initial defender, there's nobody there to really contest. They do a lot of. I just
feel like, and I told you yesterday on the show and the day before that your guards was going to struggle in this game one, and they struggled. Schroeder struggled. Russell struggled. Austin Reeves came on in the third and the fourth quarter. He struggled in the first half.
Yeah, I think the initial punch of it was just like, the initial punch was hefty. Was what hurt us, and I think that just a few matchups were just crossed up. The thing with Jamal Murray is that, he's kind of like Michael Porter Jr. He's a legit 6'6", 6'7". So it's like if he's getting a clean look, then it's like the contest from our smaller guards is hard. And we were just having trouble with getting around that Jokic screen because he's a big body. That's why we went to put a bigger defender on Murray so we could just switch the screen with AD. So it's like it's little tweaks like that got us back.
Tweaks like that, and they try to counter switch on trying to set the pick off of the bigger man. So Jamal Murray could get the smaller guy. So it's a chess match. I'm telling you, it's going to be a chess match in this series because both teams are going to make adjustments to what's the best ability for them. But for me, I'm going to say this about the Lakers. Somebody else out of LeBron James and AD has to step up. I'm sorry. I mean, even though Austin Reeves stepped up in the fourth quarter, but I think the game would have been closer if more players would have stepped up earlier than what they did. Because if you look at it, AD had 40, LeBron had 26, then Reeves had 23. Yeah, Hachimura had 17. And I want to say what Mark Jackson said. I hope Darvin Ham makes that switch. For me, I don't know if Schroeder or one of them, somebody has to get off the floor because I feel like Hachimura has deserved his starting role.
It's gonna be D'Angelo because of his defense
for this series.
D'Angelo's defense is, his shot could be hit or miss, and his defense has always been miss more than hit. So I think if they go with that, I think they go with just bringing D'Angelo off the bench and just run a bigger front court and just start out with the matchup of Rui on Jokic, because we've seen I pay attention to like coaches breakdowns online and shit like that. So it's like, especially on YouTube, they have it's a couple of pages that I want to follow. I'll probably see the link to them that kind of break it down. That if you could put a sturdier defender, like a forward on Jokic, and have your big man be able to play off, then it kind of benefits the team because he's looking to pass first, and you need AD to be able to rebound. He can't rebound if he's contesting the shot. If he's contesting the shot or chasing the block.
this is what you could do is because this is what's been happening with the Lakers as well. When AD was defending Jokic by himself, he was fine. But then when
Right.
you decide
You
to
just
double
bring help.
team,
You don't
when you
got to
try
do
to
that.
help, that's when they cut to the
KCP was
basket.
and
And
KCP was
I don't
just
understand why
killing us.
Darvin Ham started out that way because really Jokic, like I said, he's athletic, but he's not athletic that enough to make moves one on one
His
over
first
Anthony Davis.
The first
So
one-on-one move he took, AD blocked the shot. He just straight up swallowed it. Like
exactly. So you don't. So if I'm
you don't
if
have to
I'm
double.
Darvin Ham and I'm looking at that, you don't need to come down and double. Because if you're going to come down and double, he's going to kick it out, go back to a one-on-one. He's going to get it back again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's going to be every possession counts in this series, starting that from what I saw in game one.
Yeah.
Every possession counts, and I don't care how much you're up by, but every possession counts because people. I don't know who said this in the chat. Somebody said this in the chat last night when I was doing the stream, and they said that if we lose this game, we definitely if we lose the first two, I think they said somebody said if we lose the first two games in LA, we're going back to being comfortable in LA. I said, bruh, this is the Western Conference Finals. You don't take a game off.
No.
You don't. And I don't
If
understand what some of these fans be talking about, bro, because I'm like, yo, you don't take a game off in the Western Conference. This for you to get to the championship to play for all the marbles. You don't want to take a game off and wait to get to LA to turn up. Absolutely not.
The fans, that's more of the fans. You feel me? The players and people that really know basketball is like, you need to steal one of these two. You need to steal one. You have to steal one because we can't win the series by winning all our home games. That's just mathematically impossible. We only get 3 home games. So we have to steal one on the road. Either way. If it's 7 or if it's 4, if it's 5, I mean, if it's in 5 or if it's in 6, we have to steal one on the road. We have to. And I think this next game,
they both got to steal. They got at least still one on the road if they want to have an advantage to get to the next round for both teams.
We have to steal one. The Nuggets don't have to steal anything. They just have to hold serve at home. They hold serve at home. They get 4 home games. They win. But we need to steal one. We need to steal one, and I think that the adjustments that Darvin Ham made in the second, and mainly after the third quarter, you feel me, and even the second half in total, but the fourth quarter mainly is that if we can come out with that same type of energy and that same defensive attention to detail, you feel me, not being a step late on screens, not being a step late on switches and stuff like that, knowing the game plan and just understanding the game plan, I think that we can be fine. We'll be fine offensively. We can get whatever we want against this team. Like I said, like we had 126 points. We can get whatever we want. We just have to play defense. 132 is not Laker-like. 126 is fine. They're used to giving up a certain amount of points as well, but they had 2 more favorable matchups in the first rounds. But I think that we have to get back to playing defense the same way we played in the fourth quarter. If we can play that, if we can bottle that fourth quarter defense and bring it to the next game, then we'll be fine.
And I think this is what Denver went wrong at in that fourth quarter. They stopped going up and down the court, and I felt like
it's hard when you take the ball in the net.
I felt like the Lakers was kind of vulnerable on defense when they got out in transition. When the Nuggets got out in transition, they looked very vulnerable. They looked like they were like they didn't have an answer for the transition offense.
The problem with the transition is that at the end of the day, if LeBron, because you've seen on the chase down block, if LeBron's not going to complain in the backcourt and he's going to get back on defense, AD is not going to end up on the ground in the backcourt and he can get back on defense, then we can be fine. It's those two because our bigs aren't getting back. We don't, and they're attacking straight to the rim. They see Austin Reeves, they see Dennis Schroeder, especially D'Angelo. D'Angelo is just like a turnstile in fast break. Like he can't stay in front of anybody. And Bruce Brown was yelling it after the second and when he got on him, like Bruce Brown. I think that his
impact down the lane to get a massive dunk too. I was kind of surprised.
Not containing the ball. Vanderbilt chasing the ball from half court, and he's not containing the ball. He's letting him get a free running lane down the lane. Like you have to stop the ball. You have to contain the basketball. That's just basic shit. There's no scheme for that. You have to contain the ball. You can't let him run 94 feet uncontested. Like you just can't. Not against this team because they're a willing passing team. That's the thing with this team. You have to make them. You have to turn it into an ISO game because if you try to bring 2 to the ball or if you get beat off the dribble, this team is more than willing enough to pass the
Make sure
ball
to
out of
find a
rotations.
person open with the
They
shot. Yeah,
for sure, and they have two elite shooters because I think that KCP and Michael Porter Jr. are two people that you just cannot leave open. We've seen KCP; he's a champion with us, and Michael Porter Jr. That's what he's mainly known for is just shooting. You
right.
can't leave these two dudes open; they will kill us. You just can't. You have to pay attention to the scout report. You can't help off of those two. You can help off of like this. Just because they're not Steph Curry and Clay, that doesn't mean anything. You have to treat them like Steph Curry and
You
Clay.
have to treat them like that. Exactly. You have to treat
I
them.
think we started to
In
do
the
that
end,
in the
you live and
fourth.
die by the three. So I mean,
Right.
but the thing about this, Michael Porter was making them threes, but if you look at it, like y'all, when the Lakers stepped out on the three, they'll pump fake, drive in, step, and hit the little mid range jump shot. So they was being a little bit smart on how they was making their shots. Whatever the Lakers was in the second half, they was more smarter on making their on what shots they shot selection. So I mean, I just feel like this. I'm telling you, if you still thinking 4 and 5, I don't know.
We just
Bro.
need to steal one. I think this is the one we steal. This is the one we steal, and I think we could take them all after that. We need to steal this one. Game 2 is the pivotal game. I said in the
It's
last
pivotal.
part. I said in the last part, I can see them coming out. Western Conference want the rematch. The fans are raging. They haven't been there for Western Conference Finals in since 09 because of the COVID year. COVID took away that. They didn't have home court. Nobody had home court in the bubble.
Right.
So it's like those fans came out full throat and they came out hot. They beat us by 12 in the first quarter. They ran the ball up and down the court. Jokic was just, at the end of the day, he's going to get his. You have to make it a little bit difficult for him as we did in the second half, but you can't let him get 14. He ended up with what, 20-something rebounds? He had 14 in the first quarter.
Right.
You can't allow that. You just can't allow it. Seven for the rest of the game.
Rebounds at the half. That's crazy in itself. Like,
but he only had 4 in the second half. So it's like you have to take what you did in the second half and apply that to the rest of the game. He had 14 rebounds, but he ended up with 21. He had 21 rebounds.
He had I just had it up too.
I think he had 21 rebounds.
He had, hold up, I got it right here. So Jokic had 21 rebounds, 14 assists.
And he had 17 and a half. He had 17 and a half. So we held him down in the second half. He only had four rebounds for the whole second half. So it's like if we can take what we did in the second half defensively and get the same shots that we're accustomed to getting, get layups, get open threes, and just, you know what I mean, play smart basketball without turning the ball over. That's what we did a lot in the first quarter as well. We turned the ball over too much. Like they just came out we came out a little too lackadaisical in the first quarter. We looked tired. We looked like the thin air was affecting us, which it always does. Anybody that goes there.
Then why do you think I never go? Why do you think I would never go to a Denver game? I never
anybody with this it's not an excuse. It's just a fact. When you go up in that high altitude, you're not playing. You're not used to just walking around in it. You're going to feel that shit when you're playing. Yeah. You're going to feel it. It's just and you seen by the early substitutions, like LeBron was out of the game within like the first 5 minutes. AD was right behind him, and he stayed on the bench for about 5-6 minutes trying to get his breath. So it was like we withstood the initial punch. You feel me, so to speak. It got a little bit out of hand towards the third, but we tightened it back up. And in the fourth quarter, we just have to be able to just replicate that. And I think that we will be fine. But it's the Western Conference Finals. It's the last 2 teams. Denver is who they are. Respect is be given, but I just feel confident in my team. You know what I mean? That's basically
I dig it because I feel like for me, when Denver had all starting 5 players in double figures, I know the Lakers is not used to having all 5 players in double figures on one team. Because if you look at it, Gordon 12, then you had Porter with 15, Jokic with 34, Murray with 31, and Caldwell Pope with 21, and then Brown with 16. So yeah, you had 6 players in double figures. Yeah, but the crazy thing is that when I look at the team stats for this, everything was like very, very close.
Right
through the whole game, like field goal percentage.
Despite the initial punch,
54% from the field.
Right.
They both were shooting 54% from the field, and then like it was kind of close from the 3-point line, 45 and 46%.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally right there. Only thing y'all probably had a disadvantage of is probably free throws because they were 77%. Y'all was 88, so like a 10% difference.
Yeah.
when it came to that, believe assist. On Lakers only had one more assist than they
It was
were
a 6 point
30 to
game. You know what I
29.
mean? This was a good game. This was
It was a good game,
it looked
which
like it
we
started to be a
expected.
stinker. It looked like it started to be a stinker, but at the end of the day, it was a great game, a 6 point game. I predicted the 5 point game, even though the scores may be a little bit inflated. But I think that you just come out and just expect certain things from each team. I think each team will make adjustments, and we'll just what I mean, we'll see what their adjustment is to the defense that we're playing, and how do they get Murray out of the play as far as him on defense, because they can't at this point they have two people that we want to attack
Right.
defensively. Murray, LeBron, like I said before, he's been matchup hunting since the last 3 or 4 games of the Warriors series, and I think that he's still in that mode of just trying to get the best matchup, get the best shot, and we just work from there. Like when you got point forward LeBron and everybody is focusing on him and you leaving shooters wide open, it's like AR can hit, and then you got D'Angelo when he's hit or miss, and you got Rui that can attack off a closeout, and it's just once we get downhill and once we get to the cup, it's basically the layup. So they're loading up. So we just have to find the right shot. That's all it is. Find the right shot and just get back on defense when we don't. Because the transition defense was just terrible to start the game.
Absolutely.
It was terrible. There's no other way to describe it. It was terrible.
So I wanted to get into some other situations here because we're gonna get to we're gonna break down the Miami and Boston Celtics game one. Eastern Conference Finals is tonight, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So make sure everybody tunes into that. But I was kind of surprised what I saw yesterday. Because we mentioned Becky Hammond.
Yeah.
We mentioned her. We know that she's the head coach for the Las Vegas Aces. We already know that she's
Right.
a WNBA champion in that aspect. But now we're seeing something different in a more not really negative, but I don't know what the situation is, but she was suspended for 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
So the WNBPA put out a statement regarding the findings of the league investigation. So it says Tuesday, May 16th, the league has an opportunity to send a clear message to the abides by the protect and the provisions of the CBA, particularly those that we're most proud of. The provisions meant to support player parents. In today's decision regarding penalties, however, missed the mark. Where in this decision, does this team or any other team across the league learn the lesson to respect the workplace and the highest standard and players' dignity and cannot be manipulated? So it says incidents misconduct by the team or team staff cannot always be compared by recent penalties imposed by the league and the honest views of facts to demonstrate this penalty from far inappropriate. And while taking away the future draft picks is significant, has ever been to the league's history. It says it penalized a future player by removing the opportunity to compete for a job. We are continuing to support the member as she considers the league decision to explore all available remedies. So regarding, I don't know what the actual situation was.
I think they said Becky Hammond made some comments. I think she made some pregnancy comments or something like that. Was she recently pregnant? I think. I think that's what I saw. I think that's what I saw
I
online.
saw it. I'm trying to figure out where it's at because I know Girl Talk Sports. Shout out to Girl Talk Sports TV. I follow them on Instagram and they cover all the all the WNBA stuff. So I'm trying to find it right now. Okay,
Oh,
so it
they're
said
trying
that
to say that they're trying to say that Becky made a statement about a player that was pregnant as far as her commitment to the game or something like that.
yeah. So it says the WNBA has rescinded the Las Vegas Aces 2025 first round pick for violating league regarding the impermissible player benefits and suspended Las Vegas head coach Becky Hammond for 2 games without pay for violating the league team and respecting the workplace policies. The team violation involves promises impermissible benefits in the connection with the negotiation extension of a player, Darica Hamby's contract. Respecting the workplace violation was related to comments by Becky Hammond to Hamby
Mm-hmm.
connected with Hamby's pregnancy. You're absolutely right about that. You're absolutely right about that.
Mm-hmm.
So she's suspended for 2 games. What's going on, Matt?
What's up, fellas?
What's going on? So she was suspended for 2 games and they lose a 2025 first round pick.
Right.
What are your thoughts on this? Even she said something about a pregnancy. I don't know what was actually said for her to have this happen. But
It
I
was
know
the woman said that she felt like she questioned her commitment to the game or something like that. I wouldn't be ready. We need bodies.
That's what I'm thinking. I didn't know
Oh,
anything about it because I advocate for the WNBA as much as I can.
right.
So
So allegedly the quote that must have that got the player upset was that they say Becky allegedly said that the player was being traded because they needed available bodies and that she wouldn't be ready because she was pregnant.
interesting. That's really interesting. So I mean they kind of, if that's the case, then they actually deserve it.
Yeah, that sounds suspect.
Becky Hammond to have those 2 suspended games and it's 2 suspended games without pay, and they lose the 2025 first round pick. If that's the case, then that's what's actually deserved because Darion Hopkins is not even there anymore. So
right.
My question to y'all is this: do this kind of hurts Becky Hammond's chances of being a head coach in the NBA because of these comments? Because we know we have NBA players that have pregnant women in the workplace, stuff of that. I mean, in the workplace and stuff of that nature. I know, even though probably you have some NBA wives that probably don't work, but we probably have some NBA wives that do work. They probably want their own money too. So, do you think that it kind of hurts her way of getting back into the NBA as a head coach because of this incident?
What did she get heard or quoted saying?
It was about Darica Hamby's pregnancy at the time. So
and said that she was said that they said that they were going to possibly trade her because they needed bodies and she wasn't going to be available in enough time.
And that's what she said?
Allegedly.
That's what it allegedly is what it be saying. But
I wait to hear solid proof of it, and then we can go from there. If she definitely said that, then absolutely that's going to hurt her chances.
Let me see if they actually have,
because
I just sent you a link to something from the New York Times.
It would be the same way if a coach knew that a player had an injury and nobody really talked about it. So, you know what I mean? And they traded him or tried to trade him because they knew, like, oh, his ankle's messing up. Let's get rid of him now.
That was the Gary Payton situation this year. They said that they tried to say the Trailblazers hid the fact that he was more injured than what he was. And when he got to go to state, I think he needed surgery and still needed more time off. And he thought he was going to be ready. And he had made the 3-team trade already. So it was like it was some talks with the CBA and talks with the players union about rescinding that trade at the time. But it obviously went through and Gary Payton ended up playing, but he still ended up missing time before he started playing. So there's precedent for this to have happened. And it's just, it's sad to see somebody that I thought that would be a great prospect for one of these young teams. You know what I mean? So it's like, hopefully she can rebound from it.
I think the WNBA. I think the WNBA did enough investigating to suspend her. I don't know when she said it or how or when did it actually happen? Because mind you, Darica Hamby was on the team when they won the championship this year. She was on the team.
Right. So it was a possibility. So once she obviously didn't get traded.
I don't know if she was on the team when they won the championship, but the question was, I don't remember her playing in the WNBA championship. I don't remember playing in the WNBA finals. I don't remember that because I did those games last year.
Right.
So I don't remember her playing because I think she was pregnant around that time. So let me go to Girl Talk Sports because I know they had something there as well. Shout out to Girl Talk Sports TV. They always got the latest stuff on the WNBA. They always come out with that stuff. And that comes to another question too, man. Like, I'm gonna do that on I think I'm gonna make a video instead of talking about it on here about how many great players in the WNBA is being waived from teams. And you have to understand, it's not a lot of teams in the WNBA to begin with. And I understand you have a training camp and you have to cut some players. But the way these players that's former All-Stars on last year's All-Star teams are getting waived, that shit is getting annoying to me now. Because now if they don't get on the team in the WNBA, they got to go overseas and play ball.
It's a money thing. The money is terrible in the WNBA. Their market, however they're doing in marketing, whatever they're doing to market their game, it's simply not working. They're not making enough money.
This is what I'm gonna say.
They've been losing money since they started.
And again, hold on. And I like that part of the discussion. As far as I don't even think it's necessarily marketing. It's the whole point is like the NBA gave you the WNBA. Where are all the women fans at? Who's supporting these? Like, come on, these are women's teams. We support our teams.
It's women at games.
Where are the women at?
It's women at games, but this is women. There's a lot of little girls and a lot of moms at games. I can say that.
Hold on a second. But if NBA players come to WNBA games, what happens? They get trash talked. It's this, that, and the third. Like the NBA players try to support them, and they turn around and they get blackballed from the media.
I think it's been a history of bad blood.
Show them on none of the
It's a history of bad blood.
Thing, though, right? The NBA funded the WNBA. Absolutely. Number one, we already know that the NBA is almost like $1 billion company. We know this, right? So if we look at it from an NBA aspect, you created it, you put the money into it, you invest into it. Where's the marketing from the NBA side?
Right.
The
Where's marketing is terrible.
And I'm gonna say another thing too.
Terrible.
Where's the money at from the NBA? Because these girls are not even flying first class. They gotta fly with regular people to go to games.
It's terrible.
They have to get on buses and come out of their own pocket.
The marketing, whatever they're doing as far as marketing, has just been terrible. They're not marketing the game properly.
The NBA, if you're gonna create something and you see that it's been around for almost 30 years and you ain't put no money into it,
they've been losing money. They've been losing money with the WNBA since it's been created. They've operated at a loss every single year. They haven't made any money.
I feel like now, if you expand the fan base, you probably get more people. Because if you look at it, look at where certain cities is at. Look at the cities that these teams are at. You got to get them in them big marketplaces. You got to get them in a Boston. You got to get them in a Philadelphia. Yeah, you got the Sparks. That's probably the most marquee team. Then you got Las Vegas. And then what happened with Houston? When Houston Comets won their first 4 WNBA championships, and then you cut that under.
Yeah, they weren't making no money.
You got to big marketplaces. They were small marketplaces, and that's the problem with the NBA and the WNBA. It's both of them.
But it's not just it's the prices all around. Like if I'm gonna go to a game, I know I'm gonna have to spend $200 for at least for the tickets and the food. Why am I going to go spend $200 to watch a WNBA game?
Because they can ball.
Because they can ball.
Some of them absolutely, but some of them not really.
I mean, the NBA is the same way. I just seen a podcast with Paul George. With Paul George and who else? Who was it? It was Paul George and DeMar DeRozan. They said about like this about 70, 75 to 100 dudes in the league that are completely trash. Out of the 400 people that play, so it's trash players in both leagues. And the NBA, the way that they market their league, the way that they market their players is much more involved, much more out there than what the WNBA has done. And I don't know, is that the WNBA's fault? But they have this big brother that's this marketing machine, and they can't get no assistance. Like, I don't understand it. They don't market their players.
I think that's what all the WNBA
I thought it was a partnership.
It's just assisted. They're not saying just go all in, but just give us some help at least.
I don't think you can't get them. You can't get them. You can't get them flew to the games. They have to fly with the regular class people.
They got to fly with like regular class people.
Like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's the show. It's the show. How entertaining is that game?
WNBA is very entertaining. Just because they're not,
none of them are entertaining. I'm not saying that. I'm saying as a whole, I know why I don't watch on a regular basis, because to me it's a lot of jump shooting, it's a lot of passing. I mean, it's just moving the ball.
It's regular
no
basketball.
dunks.
It's just not dunking.
You don't.
That's
Like,
regular basketball though. So, and the reason why they
it's
don't
just
get
regular
ratings because
basketball.
the reason why they don't get ratings because you put
It's the
them
same
on.
reason why I don't watch high school basketball. It's the same reason why I don't watch much of college
Nobody
basketball
watches high school
other than
basketball anymore.
March
You watch
Madness.
high school basketball when you actually in your city. Nobody watch
Yeah,
high school basketball
is trash. AAU is basically high school basketball.
Even college basketball. College
College basketball is
similar to
exciting.
me.
College basketball. I'm gonna be honest with you.
March Madness. Now, March Madness is a different
college
animal.
basketball is more exciting than the NBA when it comes to the regular season. It's a fact.
It's a fact. The
It's
games mean more.
My personal opinion.
And I'm be honest with you,
opinion.
men's and women's college basketball have more ratings than the NBA season this year.
Oh,
outside of the playoffs.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I don't disagree with that. Like I said, I think there's exciting games and exciting matchups. I just like for me again. And I hate to sound like this, but when you can show me a woman that's gonna dunk and block shots and dominate, then oh shit, I'm gonna start. Like I remember watching Lisa Leslie growing up. I loved watching Lisa Leslie. I love the 90s into the early 2000s WNBA.
You see girls like you see people Brittany Griner and Candace Parker. You see a lot of bigger girls that's doing the same thing that Lisa Leslie has done.
Talking about a handful that are really dominant.
I don't know.
Again, that's only my personal opinion. I don't watch enough of it because to me, when I watch it, sometimes it's just I don't find it entertaining. So okay, on to the next thing. Like for me,
they have some work to do. They clearly have some work to do as far as marketing. I still think it's like they don't showcase the game enough. They play it at weird times. The season is too short. They don't have enough teams.
The season.
But the problem is this, though. The problem is this. This is how sad they do the WNBA. This is how sad they do it. They have to live stream games on Twitter.
Yeah, that's bad.
They're not even on national television. And you have all these sports. You can put them on CBS. You can put them on Fox. You can put them on FS1. You can put them on ESPN instead of showing some other BS like the Masters. Nobody watches the Masters. Please, I don't care what nobody say.
Yes, I feel the same way. Just like there's 20 games of soccer on every single day. Who watches soccer?
But they got viewers on Hulu. You can put WNBA on Hulu. You have these live sport apps where NBA can come into them ideas and try to see, let's get some WNBA games there. But on Twitter, we must forgot what Twitter looks like in today's world.
Yeah.
Twitter is more of a porn site. Let's just keep it real. It's more of a porn site than anything. So you really want to put WNBA on Twitter?
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. That's telling. That's telling. The marketing is trash. You can't get them a bigger market than Twitter. Man. You can't get them a bigger platform than Twitter. Jesus Christ!
If you move the season, like put the season over the summer, so when NBA stops, the WNBA starts.
That's what it is, basically.
That's what it is.
It starts. The season starts on the 19th. So now you're going to have games on ESPN because now it used to start earlier than you start early May instead of later in May.
That's what I'm saying. So in that sense, like I get what they're like. Hopefully they're working towards doing that to where the only thing you have to really compete with is baseball.
Yeah. It's tough.
You're watching baseball into the World Series, into the playoffs.
And that's my point. Like you could get so many fans if you put them on prime time throughout the season. Like
that's marketing, though.
Why is there's a primetime baseball game on TBS? There's a primetime game on
That's
ESPN.
How they market. That's how they market the game because they put it at great times of the day. They put it on great days of the week. And it's easy because that's what people are used to. They used to Monday night stuff. Used to Thursday night stuff. You have to market that though. You have to get into those rooms and negotiate those contracts.
And that's what I like.
Absolutely.
What The Rock did with the XFL. If you look at what The Rock did with the XFL, those viewers went up every week when it was on ESPN during the weekend. Them views went up every week because you know why? XFL back then, it was known for being just entertainment because Vince McMahon owned it. And Vince McMahon don't know how to market an actual sporting event like a football game. But when The Rock boarded from Vince McMahon, he flipped it and did a whole 360, changed the teams, changed the city, and he actually knew how to market on ESPN. So now, if I am the WNBA and I'm looking at the market from the WNBA and the NBA, you take notes from what the XFL did this year, because they have more viewers this year than its existence of the XFL.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I can't really talk about the XFL. I don't think I watched one full game.
Oh man, it was yo. When I tell you, listen,
the DC Defenders,
the
DC Defenders
championship. That
fell on their faces. They fell on their faces in the championship game. They had all that hype coming to this season. You lose to this, and you lose to this damn Renegade team. It was basically a home game.
But I mean, you gotta look at it. It's still only 8 teams in the XFL. It's not many cities that you can go to. Like, and then you got 2 teams in Texas. So they already decided to have it at the Alamo Dome in the beginning of the season. So I mean, it's going to change. So say if the Battlehawks go to the XFL championship next year, that's going to be in St. Louis, and you should see their fan base, since they don't have a football team anymore. That shit be sold out. It be sold out like crazy. But
so I mean, in a sense, that's what the XFL should do, though.
I do not care, Bobby. I do not care what you have to say. F the Celtics. I'm only saying that just because of him. I'm just saying that just because of him. I'm sorry. They say, and that's Jokic in the stream, Darion. They call you Jokic now, brother. But
as far as I'm concerned, that ain't an insult.
But I want to get your thoughts on the because we did talk about it. We did talk about it while you wasn't on here. How you feel about that Denver and Lakers game last night? How you felt about it?
So
I want to hear y'all. I'm not gonna say nothing.
Me and Ed went back and forth through the game. Obviously, you guys know I'm out of town, so I'm doing a job out of town. So I got to watch the complete game, no interruptions, no kids, no wife, no nothing, and it almost went like exactly how I thought. Like it's just offense and defense, role players. And it was a great game. And I will give it to you, Ed. Yes, the Lakers defense played good in the fourth, just not good enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we played good enough defense. We came within 3. LeBron took a questionable 3 to try to tie it up, and it just went back and forth from there because we ended up just trying to trade after that. So it was like it was a good game defensively. We did what we normally do. We made adjustments and we tightened up. So it's like if we could just bottle that for the rest of the game, you know what I mean? Bottle the second half for the rest of the game. Like I said, Jokic had 4 rebounds in the second half, 17 points. He had 3 points in the fourth quarter. So it's like if we can bottle the second half and bring it to the next game, you know what I mean? Continue with our offensive attack. We had 126 points. So it was like we are the better defensive team. We have to show that. That's all it is to it, really.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, I'm going to say the exact opposite. The Nuggets have the better offense as a whole, so they need to capitalize on that. They need any bad shot. They need to capitalize on every single shot. If they continue to take good shots and they continue to move the ball and they continue to go for high percentage, again, I feel like, you know what I mean? It's going to be another close game when it comes that bad down to the fourth quarter. But I feel like that the Nuggets are going to, again, take it at home. And then again, when we get to LA is going to do the same thing. LA is going to ratchet it up, and their offense is going to play better because they're at home. All the role players are going to play better because they're at home. So again, I see it coming down to Game 7 because the home court advantage is real in this series. It's very real. You have 2 teams that can literally be pushed by the crowd, and they love it. They love it. The Lakers, LeBron, AD, and the rest of them, literally, when the crowd has got behind them, we've watched them. They've elevated their game. But then we've also seen a few times where when they weren't at home, they kind of slipped a little.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, we won Game 1 both of his first series, so it's like, we lost Game 1 here. But I think if we can, we can bounce back, make adjustments, and I think that our defense is just really what's going to carry us in the second game because if we can play defense the way we played and it can be stifling at times and we can get good shots, I think that we can have a better chance because their defense is just not is not as equipped to stop us as you saw throughout the whole game. Like we lived below the free throw line, we lived for layups and just easy matchup hunting, especially in the fourth quarter. It was just like it was I think the fourth
The
quarter
first
is going
three
to tell us.
quarters, it was not easy matchup hunting. It
The
was
first
not.
three, I mean, not the first quarter, but
At the
the
very
second
end of
and
the
third
third
quarter.
quarter is where it started to switch. When you guys got on offense, that's when you guys started to actually
The
manipulate
second, the
matchups.
second, and the second and third quarters, we got our offense back up to snuff. You can look at the box score for each quarter. Like we
Yeah,
had
I mean,
30 plus.
you guys started getting in your
We started
rhythms.
we got in our rhythm.
Absolutely.
Like I said,
But
we got, but the fourth quarter is where
again,
our defense came in the play.
yeah, I
Is
mean,
what I'm saying.
again though, for me, it was like there's 5 shots that I looked at that Anthony Davis probably could have blocked or at least really contested that he didn't. In the last one, like the Caldwell Pope, if when Caldwell Pope goes up, if Anthony Davis jumps and blocks that fucking shot, it changes the whole momentum because you were within 10 points. You were within 10 points at that
I
period.
mean, we got it within three. That's what I'm saying. So
No,
we did enough
I understand what
defensively.
you're saying.
We
I'm
did
just
enough
saying, like,
defensively because
it
we
could
made
have
switches.
really shifted at that point.
I mean, that's a 10-point shift. I think if LeBron attacks instead of taking that three, or even if he makes the three, just so happen. But I think that if he takes a better shot, gets to within one, tightens the screws a little bit more within that game. It's only a minute left. I think that we could have. It could have came down to them making a shot, and then we get another stop, which we would continuously do. We went on a 9-0 run in the fourth quarter. So it's like I think that it's a game of runs, but I think that again our defense showed last night that if we pay attention to detail and we continue with the same matchups and just fine tune them a little bit, we have a better chance of stopping them than they have at stopping us. So that's just that. I think that's just what it all comes down to. Our defense is slightly better. They have a good defense. They have a good team defense, but our defense has the ability and the switch ability to do more things and can tighten up more defense. Their defense, they have too many holes. Like we're hunting Jamal Murray. We were hunting Jamal Murray the whole fourth
Oh,
quarter.
that's not gonna happen again. That's
I
not
mean,
gonna happen again.
you
I
say
can
it's not going
promise
to
you,
happen again. I don't know.
LeBron will not get more than one or two one-on-one situations with Murray. I
I
guarantee
mean, of
that's not
course,
gonna happen
they're going to bring you
because
the ball, and you see what
Murray,
LeBron
I'm
does.
telling you, Murray gave Gordon an
What did,
earful
what did,
when he did
what did?
not pull up and guard him
Right,
so he
right.
could fall
So
back.
that's what I'm saying. So what ends up?
So
That was on
that's
one
why I'm
play.
saying they're gonna
That's on
nip that
one
in the
play.
butt.
And what
LeBron is
ends up?
gonna. It's either
What
going to be
ends up
Porter or
happening?
Gordon on LeBron. They're going to
What
smother
I
and cover,
agree. I agree.
smother
That's
and
who
cover.
start. Listen. That's who starts on LeBron to begin with. Jamal Murray doesn't start on LeBron to begin with. He starts on
No,
LeBron.
I
They
know it's
bring.
a switch off.
No, that's what I'm
It's a
saying.
switch off.
What ends up happening is what happened in the two. What happened in the 4 plays consecutively. When LeBron got the switch, he got the layup. He got two back-to-back layups. When they tried to bring two to the ball, he swung it to Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves made two consecutive threes. So it's pick your poison. You're either going to bring two to the ball to try to get the ball out of LeBron's hand, or you're going to accept the switch and LeBron's going to attack downhill and get a layup. So they
I mean,
have to.
go again. If they go under the pick, I'm going under the pick. I'm going under the pick and have Aaron Gordon stay
You're
under.
giving him a
Stay
free
under.
run.
Do
You're
not
giving him a free
switch.
run to the
There is
hoop.
do not switch. Do not switch. And the whole
That's
thing
tough
is,
because
listen.
you're giving LeBron James a free run to the hoop. You don't want to do that. That's not what you want to do. You don't want to give him a head start to the hoop. I don't
Well,
care who it
and
is in
again,
front of
hold
him.
on.
If it's Aaron
And
Gordon,
this is
it
what I
doesn't
want to
really
see.
matter.
I want to see them foul LeBron. I want to see them foul him hard,
What was he? Eight. He
like
was. What was
Porter
he? 8
did.
for 11 from free throw land. He was 8 for 11 from free throw
When
line last night.
Hachimura hugged Jokic and wouldn't let him run down the court in
I mean,
transition,
that's
what
one
did Porter
play.
do? Porter was like, okay, wham,
That's cool.
cracked right with LeBron, and that's what I want to happen. That's what they need to do. When they
I
sit
mean,
there and they play hug them, hold them,
that's
and
rough.
they
I
want to
mean,
throw elbows, and LeBron want to come in and throw his
I
elbow
mean,
at a smaller defender to push him out the way, then somebody needs to
it
step up
sounds.
and
Yeah, I
crack
mean,
him.
true. I agree with that. You feel me? That's on either side of the
I
ball.
mean,
But
I'm just
I
talking
don't
about
think
for the
that
Nuggets.
X. I
That
don't
right
think
there
that
is a
X's and
big
O's
boost.
wise. X's and O's wise, that doesn't really affect the game much. Like at the end of the day, they either have to bring two to the ball when LeBron brings Jamal Murray's man into the switch, or they're going to accept the switch and hopefully be able to help on the backside. Or like you said, if they want to go under, then they're giving LeBron a free run to the hoop. So it's like, what do you think? What do you think is the adjustments to that? They either have to bring more help to his side when they bring in the switch, or they have to just completely blitz the ball, which is going to leave them into rotations because it's 2 on the ball. It's leaving 4 players against 3. I mean, you
look,
just swing.
I'm going to say this: if I'm Jamal Murray and I'm on the matchup 1-on-1 with LeBron, and if he doesn't immediately run towards me, grab the ball, hug the ball, grab it and hug it.
That doesn't work.
As he moves that ball over,
that
hug
doesn't
that
work
fucking ball every
basketball
single
wise,
time.
though, sir. Yeah, that doesn't work basketball wise, though, sir. That doesn't make sense.
It does. It does.
It doesn't make sense. You just run up and grab the ball.
Again.
You just try to tie him up every time.
If LeBron is standing, he makes the switch. He's standing in front of. Grab that ball. It don't matter if you foul him. So what?
That doesn't make sense. He was almost in foul trouble. He would have been sent to the bench.
No. I'm not talking about yesterday. I'm talking about the next game.
That's what I'm saying. That doesn't make sense for their star guard to take reckless and senseless fouls on the perimeter just to try to stop an individual play. How many times do you think he's going to be able to do that? He can't foul every time. You only get foul.
LeBron's not going to switch on him every time down the court.
That's what I'm saying. They're either going to have to switch or they're going to have to bring 2 to the ball so that he won't switch. They're going to have him hedge and hopefully Aaron Gordon could get back over. That leaves whoever Jamal Murray was guarding open. I mean, that's just regular schematics on a basketball court. If you bring 2 people to the ball, somebody else is open. You're bringing 2 people to one of the greatest passers in the game. He's going to see the double team and just pass the ball.
If they come up and they try to set the pick for LeBron to get the better matchup and go under. Listen. I would rather give LeBron a chance to shoot a 3 than drive in the hole.
I mean, he's going to drive if you're not on him. If you're not connecting to his body, he's going to attack.
Aaron Gordon would be right there.
Even Mark Jackson said it himself. He feels though that Aaron Gordon is the most sizable player that can defend LeBron out of anybody on that floor for the Denver Nuggets. Yeah. And I have to agree when it comes to muscle, when it comes to strength, he's the only guy that can really defend LeBron James. For real. That's I'm
not gonna lie. Michael Porter had a couple times where he did good. He did good in defense.
He scored on him He scored on him multiple times. He scored on him multiple times though.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying though he held his own without fouling LeBron. That's what I'm happy with. That's what I'm happy with. He also made LeBron. I know the one bad shot that he made LeBron, he tried to take a step back and shoot the ball, but as soon as he shot the ball, Michael Porter was right there at him. And it was a good defensive play. That's why LeBron stopped switching on Porter and started isolating Murray. And that was a great matchup against him.
I mean, Porter, that's what I'm saying. They're both
Porter,
neither one of them is starting.
Porter, I don't care what anybody says, Porter's 6'10". That motherfucker closer to 6'10" than he is 6'7".
Yeah, but he had a decent defensive game, but at the end of the day, when he's posted up, when LeBron hasn't posted up, it's practically a layup. If you don't bring help, you don't bring a double team, it's going to be a layup. And what we saw last night.
Yeah, it was a layup. We have to see the adjustments too, though. We have to see the adjustments for the Lakers because when they switched Aaron Gordon, when they made the switch in the game where Jamal Murray was on LeBron James, that was a mismatch in itself. And I'm like, why do they keep switching that? They need to go back and switch again. So it got to be some way, somehow that Aaron Gordon can remain.
You got to have Jamal Murray hedge.
LeBron James, if you put Jamal Murray on LeBron James is going to dominate him 99% of the time.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I'm like, they have to defensively do something. You're either gonna stay home and Aaron Gordon drops down to cut off the lane for LeBron and let him shoot, or try to fight over. Absolutely. But again, that's not a good option with this team because this team is good at getting fouls like that. Yeah. I mean, honestly, both teams are because they're good at flopping. Let's be honest here.
Man, the flopping that they were doing last night.
I had to throw that out there. Nobody flopped.
The flopping Jokic was doing last night was just impeccable. Like, Jesus Christ, you are a flopping machine. That's all he does is flop. Like, Jesus, why are you flopping around?
Not all he does, but he did do it a few times. I will say that.
He's just a flopper. Like, we don't like, bro. It's good game.
Hold on.
Close game.
LeBron, I called the Kings of flopping. Okay. I'm just gonna say
It
that.
was a close game. It was a close game. LeBron hits that three. We probably having a different discussion today, but hey, we live with it. We make adjustments. We bottle the fourth quarter and bring it to the rest of the game. I
So
mean, that's
let's.
what we showed. We showed it. We
It's
showed
gonna
it.
be a good series. It's going to be a good
Yeah,
series, and I
because
can't
like I
wait to
said,
see
I
game
mean,
two, man. I can't wait to see game
game
two.
two, I feel like there's going to be a couple different adjustments on both sides. On both
Right.
sides.
You
So
said that
they're
earlier
going to try
too.
to fix what happened. The Nuggets are going to try to fix what happened because they know what happened in the fourth quarter. More than likely, that's what the Lakers are going to try to lean on again. But here's my problem, right? If you sit there and you consistently try to go after LeBron's best matchup, where's Anthony Davis? Because you have to get Anthony Davis started quick and hot.
And you see what happened when it does. I mean, the boy had 40 points last night. I mean,
Yeah,
he started out hot the whole game. He had
he
40.
was good the whole game.
but that's what I'm
He
saying.
was the most consistent
He was the
player
consistent
for the
from
Lakers
start
last
to
night.
finish. He had 40 points. He was the most consistent every quarter. He was the most consistent player of the game for the Lakers. LeBron was second, and then Rui, and then Austin Reeves eventually showed up. And I think if we can get more production out of a few other players and just continue to just play defense, play the same defense that we're known for playing, and we'll be okay. Just continue to get good shots because LeBron's always going to find the best shot. We're not going to take too many dumb shots. We're taking D'Angelo off the ball. He's probably going to be subbed out this game, and probably his minutes will probably
Yeah, I'm gonna
shortened.
be honest with you. I really didn't like that last night. Like I thought they would definitely give him more of a chance to get in the game and
Defensively, he
actually
was a
be a part of the game.
liability. He was a liability defensively. He was getting cooked. We had to take him out. He was getting cooked. They were attacking him. Or he was fouling. Like he was getting cooked, especially in transition. Bruce Brown attacked him multiple times in transition.
No, I mean I understand, but again, like offensively, you put him in the right position. Again, you seen how he went off in the last series. He can put up 20 points in one quarter. Like he
Yeah.
has the ability to get hot. And again, yes, I understand defensive liability, but if you have him on the court, you got to play help defense.
Yeah, that's a
You
problem. We
know
don't
you
want
got
to
to
do
play
that.
help
At least a
defense.
type of some
And I'm
help
gonna be
defense.
honest with
Yeah.
you. I'm gonna be honest with you. In the first quarter yesterday, it seemed like they were playing flat-footed and they didn't want to play help defense. They weren't trying to, and instead, and
He was
I get
getting
what you said.
blown
They subbed him
by.
out.
He was
They
getting
subbed
blown
him
by
out.
too quickly. You can't. It's hard to recover when he's getting blown by off the first move.
No. Again, that's what I'm saying. I understand that.
You can't recover. It's almost impossible to recover if he's getting blown by on the first move.
So I can't wait for game two. That's going to be a very interesting, game there for that. But
Oh yes,
I don't know if y'all
yes.
saw on your phones of it's not really considered breaking news, but NBA sources says James Harden is to become a free agent. So it's saying that James Harden wants basketball freedom, quote unquote.
Okay.
He wants basketball freedom, and this is what it says. Philadelphia 76ers James Harden intends to decline his $35.6 million player option to become an unrestricted free agent this summer in order to secure a long-term deal, league sources tell Bleacher Report. Harden is 33 years old and took a sizable pay cut last season to help the Sixers build the roster out. The guard will be seeking a 4-year contract. The 10-time All-Star is coming off of an average of 21-6 in a league leading 10.7 assists. Houston Rockets has been a long rumored destination, but sources say Harden will only entertain suitors that present competitive roster and begin basketball freedom for a star to be himself. Number one, you're not a star anymore, so get out of here, James Harden, with that. At the moment, the Sixers are only logical option coming off of the third place finish in the Eastern Conference in the regular season. So I need you to decline that option and become an unrestricted free agent. That's me. You
don't. You want him to stay there with the 76ers and suck ass. That's what you want.
You
But
do
again,
76ers a favor by
this is exactly what I said the
declining
other
the
day,
option.
right? The 76ers sold the farm for a cow that they're not even going to have. You got rid of Doc Rivers. You did all this shit to make adjustments and moves. Okay, we're gonna try to go after. And now James Harden wants to be a free agent. He doesn't even want to be there anymore. So look at that. You done messed up your nucleus for a guy who don't even want to be there.
I think he just declined his
he didn't want
option.
to be there.
I think he may still
again.
stay. He may still stay if they get the right coach in there. That's what I'm saying. They bring the right coach in there that'll let him be him. They get a Scott Brooks in there. They get a D'Antoni in there that'll let him be him and give him freedom. He'll come right back as long as the money's right.
Yeah,
he don't want to go to no damn Houston.
I need him to decline to find a team that's competitive that would take him.
Who would that
be? Definitely, he's not it in Philadelphia. He's just not it.
What competitive team want James Harden?
I don't know. Somebody would take a chance. Shit.
It'll be a bum team. It'll be a team desperate to sell tickets.
The Wizards might take him.
The Wizards would gladly take him.
You know what I mean? The Timberwolves might. The Houston Rockets might. Shit, even the Spurs might.
No, the Spurs don't want James Harden. James Harden don't want that pop smoke. He don't want that pop smoke. RIP. He don't want that pop smoke though.
Yeah, but I mean, you get what I'm saying. The crappiest teams in the league are about the only ones. You ready? All right. Yeah, the crappiest teams are really the only ones that are even going to be looking at him any kind of seriously. No competing team is going to want a 33-year-old who walks down the court. You
Absolutely.
play with zero urgency. You suck ass on half of your fucking shots. You take bad shots. You don't pass the ball when you should. You don't play fundamental basketball. You don't play team defense. What do you do?
I mean, 20-10. He do something. 26-10.
That's a regular season. What about the playoffs? Because the playoffs is what counts.
That's what they're not talking about. They're not talking about that. They talking about regular season average. They're not talking about what he does in the playoffs. Because he goes
in the playoffs.
Look, the regular season don't mean shit.
At the end of the day, when you're these NBA franchises, especially these ones in these smaller markets, the regular season means much more than the possibility of making the playoffs because they know they're probably not making the playoffs. So they need to make as much money as they can during the regular season. How do they do that? They sell tickets. How do you sell tickets? You have stars play for your team. People will still come to see James Harden, whether good or bad. He's that polarizing that people will still come to watch him play. He's not bad. He's not a trash player like Ben Simmons, like where nobody wants to see him play. People will still watch James Harden play. They'll see him cook, see if he drops somebody, cross him up, drop somebody, drop 20 and 10, throw a couple of lobs. I mean, like a fake beard of old, but shit. Somebody will pay for that. Orlando. People in Orlando will buy that. People in Indiana will buy that.
I don't see anybody, like any competitive team saying, yeah,
no.
Look at the guy who's going to walk down the court.
Not a competitive team. He had to completely change his game. He had to do a Carmelo.
What he stated in the article that he wanted to go somewhere that he can have basketball freedom in a team that's going to compete.
Those two things are conflicting though, because the way that you play in championship teams don't play that way, sir. So you have to change the way that you play, or you're not going to play for one of those baseball
teams. Okay,
well, that's the case.
You can't have a pinch defender. Okay,
that's the case.
Unless they're going to give him a pinch defender option every time.
Right.
He ain't got no
I need to decline that option and be an unrestricted free agent for the whole year because you're not going to find both of them basketball freedom in a competitive team at the same time. No, just be a free agent for a year. How about that?
No. Yeah, no.
I mean, I'll say this. He can go to a competitive team on a much lesser role,
lesser contract. He ain't willing to do that.
I mean, what comes with a lesser role, a lesser contract.
You're going to have to come off the bench. 4 years.
He's looking for a 4-year deal.
And the only way only a bad team is if he understands that he's coming off the bench for the next 4 fucking years. Like, I mean, I could see him having a Ginobili type role with a certain team, where he plays a little bit through the regular season, and then the playoffs is where he comes out and he runs the second team.
For me, if James Harden wants to decline this option, right? This is what's going to have to happen with him.
Why we keep talking about
you said, Mac, he's going to have a smaller role. That's one. And number two, he's going to have to buy into what the coaches are doing. He cannot come into another team and expect for him to do the same thing that he did in Philadelphia.
Yeah, he's got to change. He got to change himself. That's the main thing. He got to change his body. He got to change the way that he trains. you feel me, to play a different role because he's not going to be able to just pound the ball, dribble, and to make the decision. He's not going to
Right,
be
you're
in that
not gonna be
role.
able to do that. You're not gonna be
He's
able
got
to
to be.
do that with
He's got to
any of the
come
team.
in and be a spark plug.
I don't think Mike Brown and Sacramento wouldn't want him. I know they have a young team and I know they need some veterans, but James Harden is definitely not the answer there. I would not mess up what the Kings are doing right now because they're on the upside and you don't want to decline because of a James Harden. You just don't want.
He would be a damn cancer in Sacramento.
Yeah, no, not
he
Sacramento.
Would be an absolute cancer.
Oh, wow. They said, send him to Charlotte. That's where players go to die. We never hear about them again. Go to Charlotte. Go to Charlotte, James Harden.
Now, I'll say this. If he went to Charlotte and played the 6-man role, it might be all right.
He can play 6-man role anywhere. That'll be the thing, but he's not going to get paid. He's not going to get paid, but he wants to get paid playing a 6-man role. That's
all coaches want their 6-man to work just as hard as the starters, and he clearly does not want to do that.
He's not going to get paid 4 years, whatever max money for a 4-year veteran player. He's not going to get that. Playing a 6-man role.
Listen, no winning team is going to give him any type of max contract.
Yeah.
No competitive team is going to give him that.
Agreed.
So that's what I'm saying. To say that shit that he wants to get paid and he wants to play for a competitive team is stupid because no competitive team is ever going to pay James Harden anywhere near $30 million.
Not to play the way he
more
plays.
Than $30 million.
Not to play the way he plays. He showed glimpses of some shit from back in the day, but that shit is long lost memory for real. So
you do, sister. You do not love those 76ers, but your team is Dallas. I heard you talk about the Dallas Mavericks, sis. I heard you talk about the Dallas Mavericks more times. But speaking of the Dallas Mavericks and speaking of the NBA lottery, I know Mac was pissed that he said that the Wizards were fucked again.
Because
every time, no matter how big of a percentage we have, or to get the number 1 or at least the top 5 pick, we never do.
But hear me out though. Hear me out though, because it's probably a scenario that the Washington Wizards could probably do something here. Now we know the draft lottery, the Spurs got the number 1 overall pick. Then it's the Hornets, the Portland Trailblazers, and the reason why I stopped there is because the Portland Trailblazers is looking to trade out of that 3rd overall pick because
but the Wizards are
they're trying to trade out of it they trying to shop that number 3 overall pick.
The Wizards don't even have a GM right
Damian
now.
Lillard.
Would they trade Beal for the 3rd pick?
Say that again. Beal for the 3rd pick? Again, we don't have a general manager. Yeah. Look at our team. We haven't even hired one.
How the hell y'all got the 8th overall pick in the draft and y'all don't have no GM?
Again,
I'm confused.
Say thank you, Ted, because that's the only thing we can say. Thank you, Ted, for the shitty franchise and your horrible choice and who helps run this organization.
So what it says here, according to Bleacher Report, said Damian Lillard gave Portland Trailblazers a very public directive saying that he has no interest in adding another teenager on the roster. The Blazers seem to prepare to try to figure out how to get him a veteran player here. They looking to heavily shop the number 3 overall pick in this June's draft to attempt to land a veteran piece next to Damian Lillard. The most viewed of the 2023 draft is as a 3-player class with Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, and Brandon Miller are all prospected as future All-Stars. The Blazers also publicly endorsed that Lillard-centric rebuild and emailed to fans after the completion of the draft lottery. It's a picture on here. It looks like a goddamn flyer. Ready for an exciting season. The ping pong ball bounced in our favorite Rip City. We have secured the 3rd overall pick in the draft. According to our basketball operations team, is working behind the scenes to improve our roster and build a team ready to compete alongside Damian Lillard, who had the best season to date last year. Stay tuned this offseason and sure to be exciting. Plus, we have the 23rd overall pick in the 1st round and receive our midseason trade with the New York Knicks. So if I am Damian Lillard, I'm asking for a trade right now.
No way. Even if they can get Bradley Beal, that'll do something nice.
It's not enough to compete.
Even if they get Bradley Beal, how does that push them into the playoffs? Like,
and
to actually make a playoff push.
Bradley
Adding
Beal is
Bradley
cool.
Beal, okay, you win 10, maybe 15 more games through the regular season. But when you get to the postseason, there's only one basketball. Who's going to take all the shots? Is Bradley Beal going to take all the
Dame,
shots? Is Damian Lillard going
no,
to take all the shots? And then who you
Dame
got
gonna take
working
all the
around
shots.
them? It's again. I mean, if you watch the Wizards game, Bradley Beal takes a lot of shots on a regular basis.
I just think it will work because they both will want the ball.
That's what I'm saying. There's only one ball, so
Hey,
you got two players that are constantly going to be like, oh, this is my team. No, this is my team. This is my ball. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. And I feel like that's not going to work for Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal would have been, like the seven, because you need
I
guys
could.
to go out and
oh, he in the woods or
play
something.
team
What's
ball
it?
and make the shots and do the correct thing on defense. Am I breaking up?
So,
Doing them back.
so for what I've heard, I don't know if y'all seen this because I announced the lottery on before the game actually started yesterday. They feel as though that the NBA draft lottery is rigged. I completely disagree that is rigged because if you look at these teams that got a lottery pick, they're not really that good. Like you got the Spurs, of course, probably one of the worst teams in the West last year. The Hornets, they was all right until, LaMelo got hurt. Trailblazers and Rockets and Pistons and Magic and like all these teams are not great. So I don't understand how it's rigged. Now, if it would have been rigged, if the Golden State Warriors was in this top 15 of a lottery pick. Now that's what you call it rigged. That was
I mean,
any playoff team,
to
any
me,
playoff team would have got a top 10 lottery pick is rigged. But these teams are not great. Like of course, your Wizards, the Jazz, the Magic, the Mavericks. Because the Magic got 2 picks in the top 15. The Oklahoma City Thunder, they're on an uprise. The Raptors, Pelicans, they on the borderline too. So.
honestly, I wish the NBA would get rid of the lottery. Do it just like the NFL does it. Base it on
See,
record.
that would incentivize taking too much. That's the thing. That's why they do a lottery, because even though a
No,
team may
but
tank
again,
a lot, they don't get the
look what
number
happened
one.
to the
They don't
Mavericks. Look
instantly
what
get the
happened
number
to
one
the
pick.
Mavericks. If you're showing that you're trying to tank, then you get fined. You know what I mean? And that's what it should be. So if they keep that rule in place, put it like
He's a
that.
$1 billion. This Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban eat a fine, bro. He'll eat a fine. He eat a fine for lunch, literally.
No.
Lunch
I
with
mean,
him and his friends. That's a
I
fine.
understand that.
Like,
I
this is Mark
understand that
Cuban.
these billionaires don't care
They don't care
about
about no
a
fine.
$100,000 fine,
As long
a
as they keep
million
the
dollar
draft
damn
pick, if
fine.
they can keep the pick and still tank, they would gladly do it. And that's what
But
it is. They can
again, that's
still.
what I'm saying. So if they change the rule and they say nope, it's done by record. Now, if you try to tank, not only will you get a fine, you'll also lose your first round pick.
That'll be unprecedented though, because the NFL, even though is made, they make it clear that they don't want people to tank. They tank. People tank. They tank for Tua. They tank for the coach. Tank for fucking Andrew Luck. Teams tank all the time in the NFL. So I think
Yeah,
that
but
it
I
will
there's
mean,
be
not a
they will
if
rule.
be.
you want to be completely
There's not
honest,
a rule and fines on that.
I mean,
Versus the
if
NBA,
I
the
don't think
NBA
the
has
Chicago
rules and
Bears,
fines.
I don't think the Chicago Bears tanked. They were just ass. I'm sorry, they didn't tank.
Yeah,
They
they
were
were
just ass.
ass.
They didn't
I
know.
would.
Yeah,
I would
They were
put the
just
Bears in that
the
category.
Bears was just ass. But the thing about this, they didn't need a quarterback, so that's why they traded out their number 1 pick. They didn't need a
yeah,
quarterback,
yeah. They
so.
didn't need a QB. They were just ass. I
That's
don't think
why
they were
one thing I can
tanking
say about
though.
the NFL, if you know you're going to get that player at the number 1 overall pick, you're going to do whatever it takes to trade up, basically.
Yeah.
One thing about the NBA, they're going to stay where they at, and they think they're going to find a great player at that time. So, just to let y'all know, with the Spurs did with their first overall picks, was Tim Duncan, an international player, and David Robinson was an international player. So now, Victor Wemby, I'm just saying,
Is he a
guy is
lock
all
at
right.
number
He's
one?
okay.
Is he a
He's
lock
not the
at number
best,
one?
but I mean,
He's a
hey,
lot. He's a lot. If they don't pick Victor at number 1, they should burn the franchise and move.
I completely agree with you. If any team and it doesn't matter who got the first pick in the draft. If anybody passes on him, to me, I again, and I'm gonna say this with some reserve. He is like that once in a generational type player. Now, I'm not saying he's guaranteed to be. I'm saying he has all
He
the
has the
tools.
potential.
Yes, he has all the tools to be a 10 plus year all star, a double machine.
Yeah.
The guy plays defense. The guy has so many tools in his bag on offense. And then the simple fact is his basketball IQ is really good.
Yeah.
So
I,
to me, and I've only heard two people say that they might pick somebody else over them, and I get it because I mean they're shored up for the big man side, but still I don't care, man. This is a guy who's 7+ foot, and you could literally put him at a fucking small forward position, and he dominates. You put him at the 5, he's gonna dominate. You put him at the 4, he's gonna dominate. Shit, you could probably start him as a shooting guard if you needed to, and he's still gonna dominate.
Yeah.
Now, would I have him carrying the
yeah.
ball up the court on a regular basis? Hell
No.
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 Hell
Nah.
no.
No.
But
You just run
he
offense
can.
through him. You can run offense through him all day. He's 7'4". He's 7'4", 7'5". You can run offense
Yeah,
through him all day.
and
He
He
just got
run.
to put on muscle for me. I
He's
think
just
he's
got
a
to put
little
on
bit.
muscle weight. Yeah,
He's a
he's
little
just
bit
a little slim.
skinny. He got to put on a little
listen,
bit muscle.
look at Giannis. Look at Giannis when he first came into the NBA. He
Oh,
was
he was scrawny
scrawny.
as hell.
He was weak,
Yeah.
and that's what everybody said. Everybody agreed. Oh man, this kid, if he doesn't get some muscle in his frame, he's just going to be too weak to be able to constantly go in the paint and do what he needs to do. Right?
And
And
that
then what happened? By year 3, he done bulked up, added 30 pounds of muscle, and now looks like the Giannis we all know today. And that's what I'm saying. For me, especially when it comes to the NBA, the first 3 years are so detrimental to players that if you put them in the right position to succeed, the sky's the limit for this kid. Just like
agreed.
everybody else, in a sense that has his skills. But again, if he's got to want it and he's got to be put in the right positions.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
I feel like if he goes to the Spurs, that's
That's
fucking
the perfect spot.
it's gonna
that's
be.
the perfect spot. Yes,
That's
Yeah,
the
it
I
perfect
mean,
is.
spot for him.
because I mean you got to think, man. 2 years from now they're probably playing, into
Probably
at
playing
least
in a
the
playoff
first
game,
series
a
of the
playoff series,
playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs.
or probably
If he don't
or
get
being
bar
at least
injury,
being a play-in, at least
yeah,
compete in a
yeah,
play-in.
yeah. They have a few pieces, a few young pieces that they're trying to see develop. They're doing it the right way as they always do. They're going to do it from
What's his
in-house.
name? They got that real good young kid. He's got the blonde hair.
They got
He's
Jeremy
like
Shohan.
Yeah, I
They
think
got
that I,
Jeremy
I
Shohan.
forgot. I forgot his name though. I
Jeremy
forgot.
Sohan or Shohan, one of the
one.
two. They
But
got him. They got Keldon Johnson. They got a couple other guys too. Oh, yeah, the backwoods. Where you at,
before
Matt?
we get to the last topic, which is the preview for tonight's game, this came across my desk yesterday, and I wanted to talk about it yesterday, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait till today to do it. Steve Kerr comments about the Golden State Warriors as a team. He stated that this team has not rebuilt trust since Draymond punched Jordan Poole. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest with this. You decide to come out and state this after you lose to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Mm.
You come out and state this after, mind you, y'all have not played a game in the NBA season yet when that incident happened. Why now to say something about that? Because I feel like now you're making an excuse
Well,
of the
no,
loss.
because if he would
You're
have said
making an
something
excuse
then,
because you lost.
no,
So
if he would have said something then, it would have really blew that team up. It would have really blew that team up if he would have said that while they were in season in the playoffs like that right there. It would have, because then that would have put another device, more division in that team.
Mm-hmm.
Because that sounds like he's not picking sides when he should. He should be like, nah, shut the fuck up, Jordan Poole. Play your fucking role or sit the fuck down and shut up. And that's the whole thing. He didn't do what he was supposed to. He didn't play his role. He played like dog shit.
yeah, but do you think like since Draymond Green punch Jordan Poole, you think like players was intimidated of Draymond Green because of that?
I mean, they were already
Oh,
intimidated with
come on,
Draymond
man.
I
Green.
feel like they intimidated
We all
of
know
him because
Draymond Green.
if a player comes across a certain way and mouth off at Draymond Green most likely is going to swing.
Steph and Clay probably the only two that's probably not afraid of probably being punched by Draymond. They probably been cussed out or been chastised by him numerous times. But I think that at the end of the day, I think it affected the team. It affected those two chemistry. It affected Jordan Poole's confidence more so than anything because his numbers just wasn't the same. He didn't feel as comfortable in the same role. He probably felt like anytime I fuck up, Draymond Green's going to say something. Then we're going to have this altercation. And he tried to keep it as business as business like as possible. So I think that both of them really tried to at the end of the day. So and Steve Kerr also said that you know what I mean. He doesn't think they're a championship team if they don't resign Draymond. So he clearly believes in Draymond's ability to lead this team, be a big piece on this team. It's just that chemistry has to be rebuilt or something's going to have to happen.
And
Jordan Poole may
I
have to
think the
go.
chemistry has to be
Get
rebuilt
rid of
starting from the
Jordan
coach,
Poole.
though. I think it
There
has to
you
start
go.
from
There you go.
the top.
Portland wants another guy. Come get Jordan Poole. Send
Yeah,
Jordan
but
Poole to Portland.
I don't think Damian would want to go play with Jordan Poole though.
No.
Well, I mean,
I don't think so.
I'm not sure too many people would be like, yeah, sign me up for Jordan Poole. But the whole thing is, it's like he's not going to work on that team. It's not going to happen. It's just not. Unless you're going to get rid of Draymond, and you're not going to get rid of Draymond because these dudes are detrimental for
they're
the
not getting rid of
core.
Draymond. I mean, Draymond can depend on if he declines his option because he does have an option as of right now. If he declines his option, he'll become a restricted free agent.
He said he want to be a warrior for life.
Draymond wants to be a warrior. That's the thing. He wants to be a warrior. So
yeah,
I think they're not going. I think he's not going to decline that option. I just don't.
Me personally, Draymond Green is more important to that team than Jordan Poole.
For sure, no question.
Absolutely.
So for me, it's not even a thought. Okay, Jordan Poole, you can't get with the program. You got a problem with Draymond Green. You got socked. You know, obviously you did something. Draymond Green, yes, he is a very hard and serious person most of the time. Absolutely. He takes his job very seriously. And I love that about him. I love the fact that you go sit here and hold millionaires to a higher standard. Because you have to. Because, I mean, look at the money they gave him. So, yeah, I can see it. Draymond Green saying, look, I'm not making no fucking max contract. I'm not sitting here making all this motherfucking money. I'm not getting, you know what I mean? Like, and you're going to sit here and you're not even going to show up. And then you're going to have the audacity to try to talk shit? No, sir. And I'm sure that's exactly why that happened. But again, if I'm Steve Kerr, man, ship Jordan Poole up out of here. Ship him out of here. He's not what we thought he was. And clearly he can't play team ball.
But my question is this though. If you trade Jordan Poole, right, what would be the cap hit? Because remember, he just signed that contract, that massive contract, which I think he should have never got in the begin with. So if you trade Jordan Poole, how would the cap hit be for the Golden State Warriors? Because now that means if you want to go on a free agency and try to go get people, how can you go get people where you in a cap hit that you can't go out and get players to make this team better? And sometimes I feel like the Warriors put themselves in bad situations when it comes to getting these type of contracts to players that have not proven a damn thing. And now look at you stuck.
So I'm gonna say it like this, right? So what they need to do? Yep, it's gonna be a huge cap hit. It's gonna put them up against the wall a little bit. Absolutely. So then when you ship them out, the little bit of money you got, you go spend it wisely. If you like literally, you got 3 years till this dynasty is over. At max, you got 3 more years. Okay, so fuck it. Let's go win now. Go sign every veteran who will sign league minimum or around league minimum. Call everybody off the motherfucking benches. Tristan Thompson, your Blake Griffins, your you know what I mean? Like guys who can still be role players.
Yeah.
Go sign them. You still have Moody. You know what I mean? Like you still have a few guys that are on the bench that are young guys coming up. The other guy, I can't. I know you know his name. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and say his name because I can't.
Who?
the other young guy on the Warriors.
Who, Kuminga?
There you go. I every time I used
don't
to
know why
butcher
they
it.
stopped. I don't know why the Warriors stopped playing him. I think the guy is talented. I think the guy is good, but Steve Kerr took him right out the rotation, and I just didn't understand it.
Yeah, no, and I mean that's part of what I'm saying. Like, you still have a few young guys. You go sign you some veterans. Go into win now mode. Go to win now mode. That's the
you got to
only
go.
thing
You got.
can
If I'm the
truly
Warriors
do.
and you want to bounce back and get back into the NBA Finals, you got to get into bounce back mode in free agency. That's what you're going to have to do.
Here's my other question. So, say the same thing happens next year with the Warriors. They get bounced out in the second series. Does Steve Kerr keep his job?
That's a good question. I mean,
that's just
one thing about the Warriors.
Right,
they don't.
Steve Kerr keep his job no matter what. Steve Kerr, he's like grandfather then Gambino style then. Like he ain't going nowhere. Steve Kerr ain't going nowhere unless he want to retire or something.
Not grandfathered in though.
I mean, I definitely wouldn't call him grandfathered in. You know what I mean? He ain't won no 8, 9, 10 championships. You know what I mean?
He won 4.
That's 4. There's
a lot. In the LeBron era, technically.
Oh, yes, I mean, when you're talking about a coach who's grandfathered in, I'm thinking of like a Phil Jackson. Even Pop is like.
I mean, Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr has reached that level. Steve Kerr is right there with Spo. They the only 2 coaches I see in the league on both sides that are pretty much guaranteed their job. Unless they do something dramatic and their team completely falls off the face of the earth, they're going to keep their job.
But I mean, we've seen championship coaches get fired.
Not 4 times. I mean, there had to be a complete fallout. There had to be a complete 180 from what it's been.
It wasn't a really complete fallout. They lost in the first round, but we knew that ever since Milwaukee won the championship, they kind of underachieved after that. So I kind of understand why he got fired.
The thing was, the championship saved his job. Budenholzer was up. Budenholzer was ready to be fired. Budenholzer was ready to be up out of there. They were tired of him. They were tired of his non-adjustment.
SportsCenter had him on the hot seat.
He was on the hot seat for at least 2 years. Yeah. He was on the hot seat for at least 2 years. They were trying to get him the hell out of there. They were trying to get Budenholzer out of there, bro. No. Mike, that championship saved his job.
Hopefully the Warriors can move on from Jordan Poole. Let's see how that cap hit is going to hit for the Warriors and see what can they do to maneuver to get some players that could get them to the next level, get them back to that championship form. So we're finally on the final topic, and that is Miami and Boston Celtics. And we're going to get into the bets before we make our predictions here, since Mac is officially here now. And you have 3 bets because I couldn't put all on one because it was long as hell.
Yeah, I know.
It was long, so I had to put.
Hold on. Let's recap the bets from yesterday.
I didn't get a chance to put them up there, but talk about it though.
I can't pull anything up on my phone, so I can't re-pull it up, or I drop everything.
So basically, I see. I was going to put it up there, but I didn't have enough time because when you sent those last 2 bets, I was like, damn, it's like 5 minutes until the show started. I was like, shit, let me hurry up. But it's cool though. But we can still talk about it while it's here.
I'm pulling it up now. Yeah. Gotta go through it a little bit. Ooh. But the chat was definitely spicy last night.
Oh, it was spicy last night. That's why when y'all 2 was going back and forth just now on Lakers and Nuggets, you see, I kept my mic on mute and I stayed quiet. I didn't want to get into that. I didn't want to get to it at all.
Game.
But
good game.
These are the same game parlays for today for the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. But Mac, he hit on some money last night.
LeBron James,
him to, pull that up and talk about it. Even if you came down and do it, that's absolutely fine, bro.
Yeah. So LeBron James, 15 points. Jokic, 20 points. Anthony Davis, 20 points. Murray, 20 points. LeBron James, 1-3. Austin Reeves, 1-3. Murray, 4 assists. LeBron James, 4 assists.
And that's the parlay that actually hit yesterday.
Yes.
That is the parlay that actually hit. So hopefully that y'all was able to hit too. So this is presented by Bet Us, but we use it FanDuel as well. I'm trying to still I'm waiting for them to email me back so we can get it on FanDuel as well. But if you want to go to Bet Us, receive 125 sportsbook on the initial deposit. Use the special offer with the link in the description, and make sure y'all check out betus.com if you want to do your same day parlays. So, Mac, let us know what these first three parlays, man, for Bet One. These are all for Miami and Boston Celtics game. So break this down to us, man.
Yeah. Okay. So the first parlay is again, most of my parlays I like to make them a little spicy, but kind of realistic. Again, I think both teams come out hot in the first quarter. I think it's going to be offense versus offense. I definitely see them scoring over what is that? 54 points. So I mean that's almost a lock because both of these guys on multiple occasions throughout, like they both score over 25 points per quarter. Very rarely do they score under 25 points apiece. So again, one team scores 25, another one scores 28, 29. Bam, that's it, you know what I mean. It's that simple. Bam, we got over nine and a half rebounds, so essentially 10 rebounds. Personally, I am almost positive he'll have a double because the two people that are definitely going to eat tonight is going to be Bam and Butler for the Heat. But again, the role players are going to be the biggest thing in this game. Now, I'm going Caleb Martin, 9 points. Gabe Vincent, 10 points. Brogdon, 15 points. Jimmy Butler, 4 assists. Marcus Smart, 4 assists. I mean,
what
that's
is
pretty
this
basic.
middle one here as far as that middle parlay? So that look like that's a longer one. So
yeah. So this one, I mean, now it's a longer one, but even this is even, I'd say, a little more realistic also, because again, Marcus Smart 1 3-pointer, Al Horford 1 3-pointer, Tatum to score 20, Butler to score 20, Bam to score 10 points, Brogdon to score 10 points, Smart to score 10 points, Strauss to score 10 points, Vincent to score 10 points, Martin to score 10 points. All of these guys can easily.
that's a lot of scoring.
I mean, not if you add it up. If you add it up together, you're talking about less than 150 points. Average NBA game is well over that.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, it's the same thing with yesterday. Yesterday, Aaron Gordon is the only reason I didn't hit the one bet from yesterday, and it was a long shot. And the other one was Gordon and Schroeder. I needed Schroeder to hit one more three, and I needed Aaron Gordon to hit one more three. If he'd have made one of the 2 threes that he missed, boom, it would have been locked. And I would have had 2 winning bets from yesterday. But again, like I said, I like to make my bets a little spicy. I don't want to bet $5 and win $6. I want to bet $5 and win 10, 15, 100. You know what I mean? Like that's my whole thing. But again, you bet with what makes you feel comfortable. You look at the stats. Look at what people do on a regular basis and bet from there. That's essentially what I do. Now sometimes I lean a little more towards the over because the over pays more. And that's just me. Now all the way to the far right, you got Bam with 10 points, Brogdon 10 points, Smart 10 points, Strauss 10 points, Lowry 10 points, Vincent 10 points, Caleb Martin 10 points, Horford 10 points, Brown 15, Tatum 20, and Butler 20. That's my long shot. Now you do it 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140. It's 140 points. Again, like if this game goes the way I think it is, and I think it's going to be scoring. I think it's just going to be scoring. I think both team plays a little lack defense because it's going to be a lot of transitional scores. It is. It's just going to be whoever can make the most stops is going to win the game. Honestly, that's how it's been with Boston in the series. That's kind of how it went with the last series with the Heat and the Knicks. Now, granted, the Knicks mainly ran through Brunson. Brunson is what kept the Knicks in. But again, It's the transition offense, the transition defense. That's really where both of these teams get a lot of points from. And like I said, I just feel like everybody's gonna have a chance to eat tonight.
So we got the second one right here. I know this one is probably a little smaller because I was like in a rush, but if you can't see it, then I'll back you up on it. But this is the second one that you sent me here with the Jimmy Butler plus 20 points, the 210 total over 210 points. That's the over that you have here. Caleb Martin with 8.5 points. Kevin Love with 7.5. Gabe Vincent with 9.5. Malcolm Brogdon with 14.5, and Max Strus with 11.5.
Yeah, I'm honestly, I think that's one of the stronger possibilities to happen. Because again, like I just said, it's going to be a scorer's game. It's going to be a scorer's game. It's honestly whoever's going to, you know what I mean? I mean, obviously whoever scores more, but it's going to be it come down to who makes those shots. And to me, I'm betting on the role players more than I am on the main stars. Because the role players, again, I mean, that really is what pushes these two teams to wins. The second bet is I can't see
Jaylen
it.
Brown with the 15 points. Bam Adebayo 15 points. Malcolm Brogdon 10. Marcus Smart 10. Max Strus 10. Kyle Lowry 10. Marcus Smart 4 assists. Jason Tatum 4 assists. Max Strus makes 1 3. Jaylen Brown makes 1 3, and Brogdon makes 1 3.
Yeah, again, like I said, these three bets are the more realistic. Like one of these three guaranteed to hit tonight. One of these three are guaranteed to hit tonight.
And then we had the last one all the way to the far and right with Bam Adebayo with 6 rebounds, Al Horford with 6 rebounds, Butler with 4 assists, Tatum with 4 assists, Marcus Smart with 2 assists, Kyle Lowry 2 assists, Brogdon 2 assists, Jaylen Brown makes 2 threes, Tatum makes 2 threes, Jaylen Brown 15 points, and Bam Adebayo scores 15 plus points.
Yeah. Now that again, that has a little more spicy take to it. But again, these are all realistic things that have happened multiple times in these playoffs.
All right, we have the last two here. And I think this one, these the last two that you just recently sent me with the Jaylen Brown 15 points, Bam Adebayo 15 points, Malcolm Brogdon 15 points. This is the one to the far right. Marcus Smart 10 points, Max Strus 10 points, Kyle Lowry 10 points, Marcus Smart 4 assists, Tatum 4 assists.
Yeah, that's the one that you just posted.
Yeah, so like these are the ones
bet.
that I just posted here. So Jason Tatum makes 2 threes, Jaylen Brown makes 2 threes, Gabe Vincent makes 2 threes, Caleb Martin makes 2 threes, Bam Adebayo 8 rebounds, Al Horford 8 rebounds, Bam Adebayo 10 points, Malcolm Brogdon 10
6
points.
rebounds for Horford.
For Horford, it's 6 plus.
6. Yeah,
6 plus rebounds.
Yeah.
Okay. Jimmy Butler 20 points and Tatum 20 points.
Again, I like you can see I put a $5 bet on that. It comes back $146. It don't get much better than that. I mean, in my opinion, out of all the bets that you've seen today, I guarantee if not one, at least one, if not two of these bets are going to come through. Like you said,
make sure
last night.
That one bet hit last night for him. And listen, I'm telling you, we're gonna be doing these every day on the Darion Hopkins Show. So make sure you listening to the podcast and make sure y'all replaying it. Because what I'm gonna start doing now is, cutting out certain segments and posting them as videos. So when it comes to starting the bet now, I'm gonna definitely cut this out and add it to it, just upload it as a video for the bets for today, so for each day. So that's what I'm gonna start doing there, so people don't have to follow through the whole live stream and do it like that and all that stuff. So I'm just gonna cut it out and upload it and be that way. So make sure y'all go check this out. If you want to do it on FanDuel, you want to do it on DraftKings, it's still good. It might not be the same wagers that it has, but you can win some money. And if you want to use Bet Us, like I said before, the link is definitely in the description. And on your first initial deposit, get 125% on your sports book. So make sure y'all go check that out over there on betus.com. And FanDuel, give me a call back, man. Email me back. That's all I'm waiting for, man. So we can have this as a sponsor as well. So we can start talking about it just directly on
Give me the money.
FanDuel.
Let's go.
Let's go. So let's make sure we get that money, man. Let's make sure we get that money. We getting the money today, man. We getting the money today. But let's get to it now. The game prediction. Because I know Mac wants to talk about this because yeah, heat culture, baby. I'm saying it. Heat culture, baby. What's good? Yeah, I'm talking my stuff. Yeah, I'm talking my stuff. I don't care. But who y'all got winning? And let's break this down real quick, man.
The parquet floor is going to rumble tonight. The parquet floor is going to rumble. The Celtics take it at home. Like I said, the Heat ain't got enough juice to steal one in Boston. I don't see it happening. I see this. It's similar to the Lakers series. You have two very good teams that have great role players. Defense, transition, it's a complete game. To win these series, you have to have a complete team that plays a complete game. Whoever plays the better game is obviously going to be the winner. You know what I mean? But honestly, I think home court advantage is going to push Boston to. I think they're going to win by at least 5 points.
I like Boston tonight. I think Boston, the crowd might get they get out early, get out hot. Their role players, if they can stay hot at home, Brogdon come in and spell Martin Smart. I think that it'll really settle the team and get them to a lot of great looks. So I think that Miami their role players and their secondary players might just come out a little stiff in game one. I can see this being a 10-point win, somewhere in that range, about 10, 10 points.
By no means. I don't think it's going to be a complete blowout. You know what I mean? Because the teams are too competitive, and then Miami itself is the same thing. Just like the Lakers last night, when they get hot shooting, especially behind the arc, bro, they can take it to a 15-point deficit in 2 minutes and be up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true. That's one thing about Miami. They are a team that can come
JT got to come out hot. Jason Tatum got to come out hot. He can't come out 1 for 10. They ain't coming back if they come out 1 for 10 again. He ain't dropping. He ain't doing that again.
We're not going to be like they're not going to be like the 76ers and just let him score 16 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll be honest. I think he got his confidence back. He got his confidence back.
Yeah.
And that's all it takes. And that's the same thing that I said about Clay and Steph and the Warriors. They never got their confidence back. They never did. Because they were throwing up shots that they were not confident in. And that's why they weren't making them. And then you see the last 2 Boston games, the confidence was up. Everybody was feeling it. It was different. It was different. And that's what I'm saying. Like if Miami comes in here and shoot the lights out, I would be flabbergasted. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying to expect the Heat to come into the parquet floor in Boston Garden and dominate. It's hard for me to see that, especially on how Boston played at home in Game 7 against the Sixers. I think all that momentum is just going to push right through in Game 1, and they are. The crowd's going to be with them from the second the tip-off happens.
Listen, I'm going to be honest. I'm going with the Heat culture tonight. Yeah. I'm going with the Heat culture tonight. Yes, I feel like
you're right on the wave, bro.
I'm riding with my team regardless. I got confidence. Unlike the 76ers, every time when I was with the 76ers, I don't know, man. I don't know. Every time I don't know.
You said Game 6, we gonna close it out at home.
No, I did not. I did not say that. I said I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going on.
You might not have been confident.
One thing about the 76ers, man.
That's what you said. You was like, I'm going to ride with the Sixers. They're going to win at home. You rode with the Sixers that day.
I rode with this. Yeah, but this, listen.
I was old till yet.
I understand. It's old. We over it. You over it. Fuck the Sixers, which apparently we can't stop talking about.
F them. Yeah, heat culture over here, baby. I want all the smoke.
Culture, no way.
All the smoke. But on a serious note, though, I'm not taking nothing away from Boston because Boston is on a high note right now, coming off of a big game against the 76ers, beating them and blowing them out convincingly. Technically, the definition of a dog walk. Ed, That's the definition of a dog walk, just to let you know.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm not taking nothing away from Boston, but I feel like Miami got a chip on their shoulder. Nobody's giving them a chance to even win a game in this series. They're not giving yes. If you look at ESPN, they have them 14% chance of even trying to win this series. 14%.
Yeah, nobody has them winning.
I get that for the series, but as far as like, I thought you was talking about like everybody's saying Boston's going to sweep Miami.
I mean, 14% chance. They don't even give them that much. There ain't that many people giving them a chance to win that many games. If it's 14%,
yeah, they're not giving them a chance to win that many games either. If
it's 14%, that's
right
low.
There is probably why it goes to 7 games. That right there is probably why it goes to 7 games.
And I feel like
they're gonna carry that chip.
My Heat have a chip on their shoulder, man. They battled through this playoff.
He said, "My Heat."
They battled through.
He claimed them hard. Man. He claimed them hard.
That's why
he claimed them. You got to.
I picked the Heat against Milwaukee. I picked the Heat against the Knicks, and now I'm picking the Heat against the Celtics. Yeah, I'm 2-0 right now in the series with the Heat.
You got him for the series. You got him for the whole series. Heat the whole series.
I put the Boston Celtics. I did the same thing with the Boston Celtics from the beginning. And guess what? They won every time.
Lake show. We right here, man. We right here. We lost a game, but we right here. We in the conference finals. So from 13th seed to the conference finals. Salute.
Yeah, you can't say that about that. I think Miami was
I will
what?
say this.
Miami was like what?
You run down my
the 10th seed, if I'm not mistaken.
If you run down my Facebook page, you can see it. When Kendrick Perkins said that they was gonna make it to the playoffs, and what's his name? Richard Jefferson sat there and laughed, ha 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 ha, in his chair on live motherfucking TV, and I'm sitting there saying, you know what? I'm sharing this. Because there's no way in hell. Like the Lakers are too good of a team when they are complete to just be washed off.
But we ain't talking about the Lakers. This is my turn now. It's my turn. It's our turn now, man. We talk about the Lakers too much on this show. It's Heat in Boston.
No. We talk about the 76ers too damn much.
Listen,
especially for no fans being on this talk show.
Listen, hold up. If you look at the topics that I sent to the group chat, that topic about James Harden just came through my phone.
Oh, no, I understand. I try
to stray away from it. But talking about James Harden and of course, boom. But my guy, Jimmy Buckets, is going to be back to himself. He had enough time off to heal that ankle. He's going to be back to himself. And I feel like this starting role, this role players around him is going to help him. I like the Heat to win at least by 4. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle. Yeah, the Celtics might start out fast. We see that sometimes, but we have seen the Celtics fall back after being up and teams came back and beat them. We've seen that happen. It happen.
The only thing that makes me not like super confident in the Heat is the fact that they really only got 2 guys that can kind of carry that team. And I'm talking about between Jimmy Butler and Bam. Like, if they both have a bad game or a decent game, they lose. They both have to be on their top dog shit to win. And for them to beat Boston, which is, again, a complete team, they're both going to have to be on their shit every single game.
I just don't feel like don't overlook Miami. That's all I'm saying.
I'm saying it's going to 7 games.
Oh, I'm saying don't be surprised if Miami take game 1 now. Don't be surprised now.
What?
Don't be surprised now. Listen, you already had
that?
You already.
I bet $1.
Listen, listen, I'm not betting a goddamn thing. I'm cool.
Okay. I'll be more than happy to take $1 from you.
Listen. I
ain't betting nothing I
ain't got. I ain't betting nothing I ain't got.
I'll make him sign it first.
Listen, I can say this though. If I'll do this then. If the Miami Heat lose this series, it has to be in 7 games. If Miami lose in 7 games, I'll get a Boston Celtics hat. I'll get a Boston Celtics jersey and I'll wear it on. I'll order it then when it comes in, I'll wear it on the show.
Okay, you know, and just for that, I'm gonna throw it back. 2013, I bet against the Heat, right? Had to dye my hair red when they won.
You know
I had
what?
to leave. I had to leave my
We're
hair
gonna dye,
bright
we're
red
gonna
for
dye
an
it Miami
entire
Heat
summer.
orange now because you know they got orange in their color. So now it's gonna be
Yeah,
orange this
dye
time.
orange.
Dye it orange this time. But it has to be in 7 games.
Yeah, bet.
But I mean, if it
But
ends
no,
in
no, no,
5,
no. You got to wear that hat. You got to wear that hat on the show. The
oh no,
entire
I
show.
am. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Once I see they win, I'm going to order it. And when it comes in from shipping, then I'll wear it whenever I get it.
All right.
Enough
Sounds
said.
good to
Enough said.
me. Sounds
Enough
good
said.
to me.
Because you know what? I was really going to go. It'd be a smart ass to give you that blue and pink Miami color. I was gonna do that, but I was like, you know what? Just give it to orange. Just give it to orange.
My hair ain't gonna be able to do all that, man. Because look, ain't nobody gonna dye my hair. I gotta do that shit myself. I'm gonna go to the dollar store, get some red dye, and whoosh.
Whoa. Anthony Price, I'm not going to order a joint from overseas. One thing about me, I have an affiliate partnership with Fanatics that I could get discounts on Celtics jerseys or any jerseys that I have. So yeah, I'll order stuff from overseas. I never bought stuff from overseas. What?
Fanatics is great with shipping.
Yes.
Like,
they always got free shipping. They always got stuff they always got 65% off on the website.
Yeah, why not?
And again,
Burn 'em
they're
up.
one of the companies that even though you don't pay for first class shipping, they'll still send it first class.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I mean? They'll say 7 to 10 business days, and you'll get it in 3 to 4 days. And that like I love it. I order at least I'd say probably 2 to 3 jerseys and hats and you know what I mean? Orders a year.
So if that's the case, then if I'm gonna get this jersey and this hat, damn, I gotta get them green and white Jordan 3s. I'm gonna have to get those.
Oh,
I have to get them green and white. I have to get them 3s to go with it. So listen, I have to buy me a whole set.
You gotta get the Boston Celtics 5s. You got to get the Boston Celtics
that's
Jordan
the thing.
5s.
I can't wear the 5s because my foot is too wide for the 5s. My foot is too wide for the 5s. They made narrow. That's
no,
the
you gotta get the double
E.
You gotta get the double E. As a fat foot person myself, you gotta get the double E. They're there. They're there. You just have to look for them.
But them 3s is about to come out in that color. They about to come out next week.
Mm-hmm. So, and AI going to order all of them. People got AI already waiting to order them for them.
You know what? We're not gonna do this with you today. We're not gonna do this, but I got my Heat winning today by 4. Heat winning by 4. Jimmy Butler gonna have 30. Bam by 25. Caleb Martin gonna come through with 20. That's my underrated. Caleb Martin's gonna come through with 20.
Caleb Martin for 20?
Caleb Martin for 20.
I mean, I can see Vincent possibly, but Caleb Martin?
No, Vincent, the last 2 games, Vincent has not been on his game the last 2 games. I do not trust Gabe Vincent at this point. And he stays in foul trouble.
Yeah. He's undersized. He stays in foul trouble.
Yeah, he stays in foul trouble. So it's going to be a mismatch with Gabe Vincent. But Caleb Martin, he's a little lengthy. He can shoot the 3. He could drive to the basket. I can see him getting an easy 20.
I like Martin. I thought Gabe Vincent had a bigger role with the Miami Heat.
Yeah, he does. He does, but I just feel like when he gets himself in his foul trouble, he takes himself out the game. He has to take himself out the game. And now you have to depend on Kyle Lowry. So, Kyle Lowry has to play that bigger role when Gabe Vincent gets in foul trouble.
I love Kyle Lowry. You're talking about a guy who will give you 99% of himself almost every single time you let him on that court. I love him. I've liked him all like from when he first came into the league. Like you're talking about a guy who's a threat from every position. He's a threat as a facilitator. He's a threat as a defender, and he's a threat as far as blowing past you, getting to the cup. Now he's not as good as he used to be, but he's still pretty damn good.
Facts. So
I think he is. He's one of those players he's just so underrated. And I feel like he doesn't get a lot of respect that he should. And that's been mostly native, man.
We have that Philly grit. Like he comes from the city of Philadelphia. Like that Philly grit is just what it is. Like we want 110%, and that's where. So when you see players go into the league like that, they're going to give you 110% because it's just built for the city of Philly to have If you're not giving us effort, we want you to fuck out the door. Like, we want you out of here. Goodbye, adios. Go somewhere else and play that bullshit.
I mean, but
Philly fans don't play that shit. They just don't.
Hardcore fans expect more than your average fan.
Yeah, agreed.
And we are hardcore. We understand basketball as fundamentals. We understand it as people can go on hot streaks. We understand the facets of this game in total. So your average person who just watches basketball every once in a while, they don't see it. They don't see it because somebody has a bad game. Oh, that guy sucks. And it's like the audacity you just said. Did you look up his stats? Have you ever watched him play before? But you got the audacity to say this man sucks? Shut up. and unfortunately, I've been around a lot of people like that. Like they watch one game and that's your whole opinion of that one player. And to me, it's like, bro, you're not a real fan. You're not a fan. You're a sucker. Yeah. You're a wannabe. You either do the homework and watch the games and find a true understanding of it, or you know what I mean, just shut the fuck up. and that's my problem I have with a lot of so-called fans. But as a Wizards fan, as far as basketball is concerned, I deal with a lot of those. They just magically.
Even as a Sixers fan, I deal with a lot of shit. I deal with a lot of shit. Being a former Sixers fan, like, listen.
Being a former Sixers fan.
A former Sixers fan. I'm gonna put that on my Twitter. I'm gonna put that on my Twitter on the D Hopkins Show. And you know how you can put the nickname in the parentheses? I'm like former Sixers fan in parentheses. That's what I'm gonna put. Hashtag heat culture.
put the banner up. Put the banner up.
I'm gonna put a banner up, say former. I'm gonna say it's gonna say heat culture, but then like right at the bottom, hashtag parentheses former Sixer fan. But that's all it for now, y'all. That's all it for now. We're officially done with 23 episodes of the Darion Hopkins Show, man. We're getting to that 30th episode. Washington sports got drama but hockey. That's what Anthony Price says. Washington sports got drama but hockey because he's a Commanders fan too. So
hockey. Again, I expected more from the Capitals this year, and unfortunately got let down.
Listen, I don't expect nothing from the Philadelphia Flyers because they ain't flying no damn where back home. That's all they doing. They flying back home.
They got a couple young guys though. They have an opportunity if they continue to build.
You've been building for too long.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. The Flyers won me some money this year. When I was
they can win you some money, but they need to win games. I don't care.
They won.
They can win all the money you want. But listen, you can win money and they can still lose games. And so it's a win for you and not for them.
Yeah, no, they won the game. That's how I won.
Okay, that's one out of like 50 games that they play. So
listen, I understand what you're saying, but it is what it is. Each franchise is different. But in the end, if you don't have a good front office and good coaching, it don't matter. It don't matter.
That exactly sounds like the Sixers and the Flyers and the Phillies. Now, I can't say nothing about the Eagles because they went to the Super Bowl. I can't say nothing about the Eagles. I can't say nothing about them right now. But
don't start that.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Listen. If I start talking bad about the Eagles, I'm hiding in this city. You're not gonna find me. I'm hiding. I don't want no smoke with no Eagles fans right now. I don't. Only thing I can really say about Eagles fans is that a couple years ago my Raiders beat them. Other than that, I can't say nothing else. I can't say nothing else.
Hold on. You got to give me this take. I know you saw the Devontae Adams. It came out
about what he said that he's not seeing eye to eye.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised about that.
No, I'm not surprised neither. But I'm just like, at this point, don't go to the media. Don't go on a podcast and talk shit. Go to the front office and say, look, this is what I want. You either work with me do this, or in the article.
I read the article in the Ringer. Else. He has talked to them, and the Raiders have him in front. Have him in talks of players of coming there. But he's saying that when they did that, these are the players that he wanted, and they did the total opposite.
Yeah, that's why I said they're not seeing eye to eye.
But this all falls back to Derek Carr at the end of the day, because you use Derek Carr as a scapegoat to get Devontae Adams, and people and Raiders fans are just as dumb as any other fans that I ever seen that really is not realistic at all. The Raiders fans are the most dumbest fans in on YouTube and in the league. They're dumb as hell, and I'm gonna tell you why. Oh, what Derek Carr has to do with this? You think Derek Carr would have came here if you do think Davante Adams would have came here if Derek Carr was not here? Absolutely not.
Oh, hell no.
People have to understand that he was a scapegoat. Josh McDaniels already knew that Derek Carr was out the door after the season, after they got Davante Adams. They already knew that, bro. This is all stems down to you get rid of his guy, you go and get Jimmy Garoppolo. Is an okay quarterback, but best ability is availability. If he can stay healthy, then we can be fine. Then you got to go give me Garoppolo a defense, because if you look at all the teams that he was with, he had a defense. Raiders not had a top 15 defense since 2000. So we're not going to even talk about that when it comes to that. So it all boils down to what are you doing to help Davante Adams right now? He's 30 years old. He wants to win a championship. He's not looking to rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
Enough said. I don't even want to talk about. I talked about that on Nothing But Raiders podcast, and I went off. Because people kept saying, "Oh, Derek Carr is not the issue. He wasn't Derek Carr was the issue." If Jimmy Garoppolo do the same shit that Derek Carr does, who you're going to blame next? Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to blame you. Who you going to blame next? Y'all wanted him out of here for a new quarterback. You didn't get Lamar Jackson. He's back in Baltimore. Like I said, he's not going to come to the Raiders. Ari said that. Y'all wanted to get Brady.
If they wanted Lamar Jackson, they could have got Lamar Jackson.
They wasn't going to do it, though. This is Josh McDaniels you're talking about. This is Josh McDaniels you're talking about.
They could have, but they wouldn't. They weren't going to give it the picks. They weren't going to give it the picks and pay him at the same time.
The Raiders are that dumb. If they could have, but the Raiders never pulled the trigger on nobody. They only pulled the trigger on Davante Adams. But let's be real here. They're supposed to pull the trigger on Brady. We saw all these jerseys that Brady was coming to the Raiders and stuff like that. Never happened. He retired.
Yeah, he did. Allegedly. He came to the Raiders as a front office person.
Yeah, as a front office guy. He wasn't going to play for them. He was smart about that. Then we were supposed to get AR-15 in the draft. He went to the coach. Y'all didn't even trade up to go get him, so that's out the door. So you wanted to go get Lamar Jackson. Y'all wanted to trade for him. That out the door. Come on, y'all. Like, the Raiders is like, they overhype every player that becomes a free agent that's good. The Raiders won. You're not going to get it. You're just not. Like, I was shocked that we got
Davante Adams finish this season with the Raiders? That's the last question I'll ask, and then we can end this. Does Davante Adams finish this year as a Raider?
Yes, he has. Yes, he will. He will.
Yes.
He will, because what he said in that article, he said that he's willing to make this offense work and see what happens with it. He's willing to see what happens with it, and he's here for another 4 years as of right now. I think after his third year, he probably going to want to be out if they see it, if it's a real total rebuild.
So okay, so I'm saying if y'all lose, and it's a big if, and I'm not wishing any losses on you, but if y'all was to lose the first 4 games of the season, and Davante Adams was like, you know what, Tweet, I want to be traded. I'm done. What happens? What happens if you lose Davante Adams?
I don't think Davante Adams will want out after 4 games, because there's only 4 games. It's a long season in the NFL. Now, if we're having a losing record by at least between week 6 and week 8, then I can see that happening. Now, but week 4, that's kind of early to state that.
4 straight losses.
Even we saw teams come from 0-4 or 1-4 and still make the playoffs. We've seen that, but. This is the Las Vegas Raiders we talking about. This is the Raiders we talking about. Because I don't have one thing about me as a Raiders fan, and I need all Raiders fans to do this. We have no expectations. I don't do record predictions. I don't do none of that shit. You know why? Because the Raiders, you think they're gonna do one thing and they do the totally complete opposite. So that's why I don't give no expectations to this team behind here. Whatever happens.
Let's wait and see.
And we'll see.
I got you.
Unfortunately, that's where I'm at with it with them. So yeah.
All right. Well, that's the last thing I got.
Yeah. Listen, I'm happy I got to get that off my chest on this side of the show, because on my Raiders channel, I got it off over there. I let it be known.
I seen it on ESPN, and I was like, I noticed this is my boy's team, so I gotta make sure I ask the Davante Adams question. You know what I'm saying? So,
Anthony Price can tell you when I do Raider play-by-plays, he be laughing when everybody wants to blame Carr. I'm telling you, last year it was bad for me, man. It was bad for me. Oh, and every game I was like, this is who we thought we were. Every game when we lost, this is who we thought we were. But there we go, y'all. Episode 23 is absolutely officially in the books. Thanks, Mac, for bringing that up. I wanted to bring the Devontae Adams thing up, but I was like, you know what? I talked about it yesterday. I try to make sure I don't get any gray hair from it. But I get gray hair with the Raiders anyway. I'm gonna look like a Las Vegas Raider with this under this hat. So yeah, but make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, man. I will be live for Celtics Heat at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Y'all definitely want to come through and be live for that. That's gonna be an epic game here. And we be back for episode 24 tomorrow, and we will have a lot of more topics, recap the games, recap the bets, and more topics to talk about. That's all around the end. Probably some NFL news is going to come out probably by tomorrow or something of that nature. We can get some more NFL news out there. But we definitely out, y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place. It's the Darion Hopkins Show, and we're out of here, y'all. Peace.
Peace.